What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of Outlaw Radio Live on a Monday evening. Please let me know if my audio is working. It's been kind of glitchy. I don't know what's going on. So if it's not working correctly, please let me know. Welcome to the show. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the world-class, smart-ass, militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. So welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully, you'll hear something that informs you, enlightens you, or entertains you. And that's usually the goal of our show, is to try and get people informed on what's going on, because Lord knows there's a lot going on these days when it comes to foundational Black Americans. So please let me know if you can or can't hear. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. I think everything looks good on my end, but I don't know for sure if the audio is correct. So, welcome to the show. This is what we do on Mondays and Wednesdays. It is a foundational Black American platform. People say, what does that mean? What is this foundational Black American? What is FBA? I hear people say that all the time. And, I do my best to answer the question. I mean, to put it bluntly, if you are a descendant of those Black people who once lived in this country as slaves, and I'm making it very specific. If your forefathers, your ancestors were slaves, in particular from the American South, as far back as, I don't know, the early 1800s, as a focal point, if your people came in this country via the the trade, the slave trade, then they participated in the establishment of America as a country, then you're a foundational Black American. So it's not one of those things you get to choose at this point. It's not a club. There's no leader, there's no t-shirts, there's no website. And if you see that, please avoid it at all costs, simply because this is a thing that's built on lineage. So where are your people from? I've researched my people. Not, I don't believe in sending my DNA in the mail, but I've researched them as far as ancestry.com, which could be inaccurate. I don't trust anything. But I trace my family all the way back to the early 1800s, 1820s to be exact, and was able to identify most of the people that came before myself that made it so that eventually I would come along. So I'm a foundational Black American, and all it really is American Black people identifying ourselves. I mean, and I know a lot of us don't like America, right? Let's be honest about that. There's a lot of Black people who do not like America. I'm not in love with everything that Black people, I mean, that America does. I'm not in love with all of the atrocities that are committed by America every day, and especially in modern day America. But I am proud to say that my people are a fundamental building block when it comes to establishing this country. We've fought in every major war. We've contributed to every major campaign. We've made all the major contributions. We've innovated everything. There's nothing we haven't innovated when it comes to this country. And when it comes to America and Black people, this country would be pretty paltry without us, right? Like, so when you say American history, understand that the struggle or the rise or emergence of American Blacks is absolutely essential to the history of this country. So don't get it twisted. And it's just a tremendous sense of pride for me to know that despite of all they've put us through, our perseverance has led us to a state of permanence in this country. Like, now I'm hearing this won't be long under Trump, right? Like, I hear that this is something that Trump intends to change. Like, his goal is to make America a whites only country, which I don't think he'll succeed at. I hope he doesn't succeed at it. And if he attempts it, we need to fight like hell to stop that from happening by any means necessary, to quote the great Malcolm X. So welcome to the show. Like I said, if it's important to Black people, if it's relevant to Black people, if it's pertinent to Black people, it's going to be discussed on this show. And it could be socioeconomic, it could be culture, it could be entertainment, it could be a bunch of different topics. And more often than not, it is a bunch of different topics that we approach on the show, because black people are well-rounded. We're very flexible. We're very we adapt. We adapt to situations. So any of those conversations, you're going to hear those on Outlaw Radio. So welcome aboard. Um, the phone number attached to the show is 262-202-5131. It is scrolling across the bottom of the screen with the Cash App if you want to donate to what we do here. But I also have a chat room, and my chat room is always very active. I'm looking forward to conversing with the Outlaw family tonight, as I normally do, Mondays and Wednesdays. 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we come on and do our little thing, and then you don't hear from us again until the following Monday or Wednesday. I see Brendan Hayes. Shout out to Brendan Hayes. He is in the chat room. He said that everything is good on this side, meaning the audio is working. He can hear me. That's a good thing. I hate to be on here running my mouth and y'all like, look, we can't hear a damn thing you're saying, right? That would be kind of crazy. So like I said, welcome aboard. Carrie Walker Jones, I see you in the chat room. She said Messy Monday. Here we go. Messy Monday, right? Like if sometimes the conversations get wild on here. Sometimes, people tend to call in and vent and get it off their chest, whatever it is that they want to say. And I welcome that. I just ask that you respect the platform. I try to keep people from talking over each other. We get, black people, we get excited. We're emotional. Black people get emotional. So sometimes you got to calm black people down and say, oh, whoa, hold on. Just wait a minute. Like, let's hear each other out. Ace Cooley in the chat room. I see you. Ace, he said, damn, Kev, where everybody at? I haven't spoken with anyone except for Ian. And I know Ian was out working. He was having that's part of why I said the audio was questionable, because I couldn't hear his voice. He was trying to connect while he was driving, but he'll be joining us when he gets settled in and he gets home or gets to where he's at. And then we'll have everybody with us, man. Thanks for asking. As far as everybody else, I think the family is just down to myself and Ian at this point. I know people are busy. Everybody has something to do. I'm not big enough to write paychecks yet. So I don't really ask of make any demands of anyone. If you can show, you can show. If you can't, then it is what it is. I don't take it personal. Trust me, I don't. But people have things to do. Sometimes they don't want to come on Outlaw Radio and chop it up with us. If they got something else to do, which is dope. Like, go and do your thing. I welcome that. I love to see black people advance. So I'm always on that. So I don't know where everybody else is. We got you here, right? We got Carrie here. We got Brendan Hayes. Shout out to Brendan Hayes and the People's News Network, which is our sister group. A lot of people don't know that. I started that group probably about 10 years ago because I wanted a group that celebrated all things black. And it's kind of like I wanted it to be my personal black CNN, where anything that's relevant to us, it's in there. And so it has grown over the years. I started, it might have been 50 people. I think it's up to, it's not still not big by Facebook standards. It's only about 1,600 people in there. But I can say Brendan is a major contributor. I need to just go ahead and add you as an admin, Brendan. Brendan Hayes, I'm going to have to add you as an admin. He contributes a lot, shares a lot of different platforms, a lot of information. And I could be selfish and not welcome other people's platforms in there, but I'm not that kind of person at all. And there's enough being said in this new age black media for people to really pay attention to it. I think it's very important that we take control of the narrative and stop letting the narrative take control of us. That is something that I'm very adamant about. Our voices need to be heard. The struggles that we face, the things that we go through need to be heard and in some cases seen. We know mainstream media, since we don't own conglomerates, things of that nature, mainstream media very, very, very seldomly represents us the way we should be represented. So it's always about, hey, let's get the truth out here. At least if we're communicating with each other. And I think it's very important for black people to stay on code. One of the ways we're going to stay on code is by talking with each other, right? So, welcome to the show. Share the show. Let people know the show is on. I see Earl Henning. Well, this is Ace Cooley. Hold on, let me read my chat room. He says you should do a all-star episode where Bring on some of your old co-hosts. You know what? That would be dope if all of them still spoke to me. one thing I learned about doing this is people get upset. People get in their feelings. People feel a certain kind of way with, when, especially when you start a platform. And I mean, I've been doing this now, it was 2011. So we're talking about 14, 15 years. And so I've had a lot of different people on here, some of which have passed away. Rest in peace to my brother Bear Meat. Rest in peace to Jason Campbell, who was on here with me for a while. But there's some people out there who've been on, but I mean, we don't converse anymore, so I don't know, because people tend to get upset, and they don't always communicate what they're upset with me about. So when I say world-class smartass, Ace, believe me, it is entirely a situation where people sometimes just get fed up with Kev, and that's fine. I mean, I've been dealing with that my whole life. I've never been a person that's for everybody or everything. I'm an individual, and so I may be an acquired taste. They say everything ain't for everybody, and I truly believe that, because some people want to move in a certain way, they want to speak in a certain way, they want to act a certain way, and if it's not something that I'm really interested in, I just don't entertain it. So, but that would be cool if we could bring back all the people who have been on the show over the years as co-hosts. It would be a lot of people. I'm trying to tell you, I've had so many people. I can't even, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you how many. I would have to try and go and sit down with a piece of paper and just write down everybody's name. When I started off doing Outlaw Radio, actually it wasn't Outlaw Radio, it was called Chocolate City. I had 4 or 5 co-hosts with me. I had like 4 co-hosts with me. And over the time, as we just moved and moved and moved and things grew, people left. I mean, what can I do? My mom used to always tell me, one monkey don't stop no show. That's not to call anybody a monkey, but I'm saying, if you have something in your mind that you want to do, it's nobody else's responsibility to do it except for you. And sometimes you got to go against the grain. You have to be in a situation where you say, you know what? I'm going to continue on my path and do what I feel is right. And everybody's not always going to agree with you. So it's just one of those things where you got to keep going. Earl Henning, I see you in the chat room, partner. He said, what it do, my brothers and sisters? Fuck Donald Trump and his friends. Brendan Hayes said, did you hear about the freestyle? That's all I've heard about all weekend is the freestyle. I'm a tremendous hip-hop head, man. So I follow everything hip-hop. So I'm going to talk about that tonight. Earl Henning said, Kevin, fuck who don't pay the rent. Earl, I'm 2 steps ahead of you, man. I'm I learned a long time ago, it's better. The best thing in the world is to be yourself. Be yourself. That's it. I can't be anyone else. I can't front like I'm someone else. I have to be me. What works for Kevin is for Kevin to do Kevin. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Fuck who don't pay the rent, man. Kerry Walker Jones said black folk will listen to you lie to them before they ever accept the truth. Sometimes the truth is harsh, man. Sometimes the truth requires for you to look at your own self and look at the way you move. And it's hard to do self-evaluations. I learned that a long time ago as well. Like it's hard for people to do self-evaluations. Because some things are hard to admit because they might lead to you facing up to things that you don't want to face yet. It depends on what's in your closet. How many bones do you have in your closet? And so sometimes people don't. And then we have to understand this too. Your truth is your truth, AKA your opinion. Like, I want everybody to be welcome to have their own opinion. I'm not a converter. I don't try to convert people. I don't try to make people see things as I see them. I only present the facts that I'm aware of. If there's something I don't know or something I'm wrong about, I don't mind being corrected about it. This just is what it is. It's one big think tank as far as I'm concerned. But everyone's not like that. Sometimes if you don't believe or agree with what they say, it's a problem. Trust me, it's a problem. So, that's what the conversations about sports and politics and relationships, and all these kinds of things. A lot of times, that's why Kerry Walker Jones said messy Monday, because especially with politics, shit gets heated. Shit gets very heated. People get into their chest. Mama Jenkins, good to see you out there in the chat room. She said, "Good evening, my Outlaw family. Make it do what it do. Every day the homicides are raising." Yep, they surely are. They surely are. Uh, and what's being done? What's the plan? I mean, at one point, I feel like our leaders in the city were at least kind of patronizing us, telling us that they had a plan, that they were going to come up with this crazy anti-violence initiative that involved the people in the community being accountable and working with law enforcement. Now it seems like they ain't even lying to us no more. Now it's just like, it seems like they're just like whatever, you know. So Mama Jenkins, I don't know. It's one of those issues where, at least in our community, I know for sure we're going to have to work it out ourselves, which is the hardest part, because it's hard to get us on the same page, which is another reason I do Outlaw Radio, just so we can have a place to have the uncomfortable conversations. I want people to be comfortable being uncomfortable. A says, "Trust me, I know I'm an acquired taste, very straightforward." Sometimes it's just not straightforward. It's what people think you think. They want to tell you how you feel or what you mean when you say something. And it's hard. It's hard to argue with me, especially about something that I've said or about my opinion, because as soon as you make those assumptions, I'm gonna slam the door shut and say, "Yo, but you don't know what you're talking about." Grown people don't like to be told that you don't know what you're talking about. So, something I've learned over the years. Carrie says, exactly. Accountability is a motherfucker. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's to take a self-evaluation. Like, I mean, believe it or not, we all have flaws, right? We all have flaws. But I think it just comes down to the individual as far as admitting what those flaws are. Now, I'm not talking about what you tell me about me. I'm talking about what I know about me to be true. Sometimes that's hard for people to do. It's very hard for people to do. Erica Hunt, I see you in the chat room. She said, "What up, Outlaws? How you doing, Erica?" A said, "I don't believe it. I looked up some of the Wisconsin politicians. We have several politicians that are receiving monies from APOC. I mean, why don't you believe it, Ace? What surprises you about any? One thing about Trump, the Trump era, is we shouldn't be surprised by anything that politicians do now. Like, I feel like it's all exposed. Everything is put out there. I don't think we should be surprised by anything, especially when it comes to the money. We've learned, or we should have learned, that the money is really what run things. It's all about the dollar bill in the United States of America. We look now, we got this narcissistic billionaire as a president. One of the major reasons he's president is because he had money. And when you got money, you're usually connected to other people who have money. So that's a pretty powerful network, and y'all can make things happen. So I don't know why you are surprised by that. So look, and I wanted to make something very clear here early in the show. I think I got enough people rocking with me right now just to say this, because we had a discussion last week. And like oftentimes the conversation will just kind of just evolve, right? It'll go from one point to another. It travels. And a lot of times when it comes to grown men and grown women being in the same room, relationships will come up, especially when it comes to black men and black women. And I think that there was a point made, and I think it was Dion who made it, who's actually on with us. I'm sure he'll be hitting the line pretty soon. He said he felt like women who had children lose value. That takes away from them as a potential mate. And I'm kind of quoting him without quoting him, right? I'm paraphrasing him. And there are some men who feel like women who have multiple children by multiple men, it does kind of take away from their value as a potential mate. I never said that. That is not the sentiment of the show. I would never tell a woman, you're of lesser value because you have children or because you have children by multiple men. At the same time, if I was single, which I'm not, and I was in the dating world, Would I want to date a woman who had a bunch of different baby daddies? For me, it might be a little uncomfortable. Um, but if you like somebody enough, I feel like you invest in them. So if it was a woman who I really wanted to date, then I'd have to learn how to deal with it. But I don't believe it reduces her value, because I did see some conversations across Facebook after the show last week where some women were expressing that they had been told, and I don't know if this is another Kevin Samuels conversation, that they had been told that because they had children that they weren't worthy of love or something like that. And I seen women kind of cheering each other. Women cheer for each other. I seen women kind of cheering each other on in the chat, in the comments, and I was just like, I hope this is not something that came about as a result of our conversation on Outlaw Radio, because once again, that is not the sentiment of the show. It is not my sentiment, right? I don't believe, because that's to say a man who has, and I've heard women say, I wouldn't date a man who has babies. I wouldn't date a man who has children. I wouldn't date a man who has, and they feel like that diminished his value. I disagree. I think it's about that individual, because you're not dating the kids. You're dating the grown up. You're dating the individual. So that's not my sentiment. So if that's what people walked away from last week, I hope that we can get that straightened out. And when Dion said it, I didn't jump down on him like, oh no, because it's his opinion. And like I said, I welcome people to the show who have an opinion, and if they want to express it, then it's fine. That's fine. But it's not my personal opinion, and it's not the opinion of the show. What I try to do is express positivity when it comes to black women and black men in terms of our relationships. I'm not a negative Nancy when it comes to that. Now, there's sometimes do have issues sometimes with some of the popular theories of a lot of women today, because I think women today have lost a certain amount of respect for men, and I think masculinity has been devalued over the years. People can blame the feminist movement, people can blame what they want, but I hear women express sentiments on social media all the time, and I say, whoa, that's toxic. Some of us are by ourselves for so long that we start to think it's everybody else in the world except for us. Everybody on this planet can't be wrong except for you. Come on. Like, let's be honest. If you have a problem, obtaining positive relationships, I think it's one of those times where you got to do the self-evaluation and figure out, what am I putting out to get what I'm receiving in return? So, but shout out to all the women out there who are strong women raising their children. I did say, and I will say, and I will always stand on the fact that I don't believe that a woman can raise a strong man by herself, but I've been proven wrong so many times. Like, there's a bunch of women who raise strong men. Like, once again, I don't know every damn thing. And most of the time what I'm saying is my opinion as well, as informed as I try to be. But I do think, especially young men, I think young ladies too, but I think young men need strong male role models. I do. And I see way too many young men who act effeminate. I'm not saying they're gay, but you can tell that he's been around women the majority of the time by the way he carries himself. So I do say that. So that's something that some women agree with. Some women say, hell no, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's get it. Let's do whatever it is. It is what it is, right? Erica said 3 of my members were in the new one. Saved the lady who was essayed at the train station. Another one was attached at the courthouse parking structure. I think you mean attacked at the courthouse parking structure, and one of my members was killed on 64th and Center. It's been a hard month for our union. Okay, so the violence tends to affect us all. So I can't stand when people feel who act like, well, it ain't me. It don't affect me, so I don't care about it. It's like it'll creep up on you. A says they trying to fix. They are. I think he means they're not trying to fix anything, especially anything on the north side. Mama Jenkins in the chat room, she said Milwaukee leadership is a joke, and the parks and the lake is unsafe. No respect for the dead. Fighting in that man club was a disaster. The lakefront is going to be closed early to keep these fools away from there. I never got to the bottom of what actually happened with the club thing. Like, that club is not far from where I live, Now they said the owner had passed away. I don't know, how did he pass away? What was the whole skinny on that? I did see the footage of the fight, and I've seen a lot of people critical of that fight. At Sears, I believe, out on Appleton. But what I didn't get the whole story. I didn't get the whole story. Kerry Walker Jones said Kevin Samuels was a narcissist. He used his platform to make others feel bad for the same things he did. Okay, okay. Earl Henning said the woman who has 5 kids and 6 baby daddies is a problem. You got 5 kids and 6 baby daddies. You gotta love Earl Henning, man. Ace says it wasn't our woman. It wasn't our woman that was tripping on masculinity. That is the liberal white woman, aka the feminist movement. Like I said, there's a lot of people who've expressed that sentiment. Let me see. Ace says black women normally are not attracted to anyone who can't protect them. Right? Right? Kerry Walker Jones said on a motorbike. Oh, he died in a motorcycle accident? Um, Mama Jenkins said he died in a crash on Roosevelt and Fond du Lac last Sunday night. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Rest in peace. Condolences to that brother's family. I've went in there. I've gone in there over the years, and it's been years because I stopped going out. Period. But I've been in there, man, all the way back to way back in the days when there used to be a place called The Rock, and then it became like Nostalgia 2 for a very long time. So we used to go in there then, but I haven't been in there since it was Sears. So, or I think that's how you pronounce the name. Man, that's crazy. But I did see the fight. I did see the footage. I mean, people put fight footage up from fight footage is very popular when it comes to social media. Fight footage is very, very popular. People, those videos tend to get way more views than anything positive. I don't know how many times we've had some topic on here or some guest on here who was an absolute listen. Like, you should listen, you should tune in, you should check this out. And it did whatever numbers it did. And then I noticed that something very silly or very low hanging fruit, like, dwarfed me in numbers. That's why I kind of gave up on like worrying about numbers. And that's why I don't really appeal to trying to get clicks and likes, because a lot of times the dumbest shit is going to get the most views. It's going to get the most likes. It's going to have people following you because people love foolishness. I mean, how many of us don't have a room in our lives for some foolishness on some level? I mean, sometimes I even enjoy some bullshit, right? Like some of the stuff I watch on TV. I'm a big fan of Tubi, right? Like, so I love Tubi movies. So that's those kinds of things tend to attract us, right? So fight videos I see fight videos at clubs, taverns, all kinds of places all the time. Sharita Shaw, I see you in the chat room, my sister. She said, "Hey, Outlaw family, how you doing, Sharita? Welcome to Outlaw Radio Live on a Monday evening. It is I, Kevin Barnes, host of Outlaw Radio. I'm waiting on Ian to pop in the fact checker, so we can run through it. I wanted to get started with. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where you want to start, but I wanted to start talking about the state of things. Ace Cooley says Kevin Samuels was not a narcissist. He just held a mirror up to their face, and they didn't like the exposure. As a matter of fact, they were calling in and asking him to give an assessment of their personalities based on the shit that they tell him. I did witness that. Sarita says Tubi, ghetto ass. Hey, listen, I'm not from the suburbs. I was raised on the north side of Milwaukee. I'm born and raised on 17th and Capitol Drive. So yeah, I've been urban, as they say, for a very long time. I love Tubi. Can't knock me off that square. Erica Hunt said, I am over the fighting and wish I had never bought a street fight video in the early 2000s. Yeah, well, we had no way of knowing what this thing was gonna do. You didn't, I ain't gonna lie though. Back in the days when I was growing up, when it was a fight, I stood around and watched. If I wasn't the one fighting, which a lot of times I was, but I stood around and watched. I mean, That's why it's crazy for people to act a certain way. Like they are so insulated now from any kind of foolishness, flaws. I mean, it is like we've all been in certain places coming up, right? Like, especially if you my age, we grew up a certain way. So, I don't deny any of that. People say, you hood, you had my daughter used to tell me that all the time, like, Dad, you so hood. It was something I used to be proud of. Like, yes, baby girl, I am. That because daddy knows where he came from. I'm still that dude is still in here somewhere. As much as I try to refine and shape him into a positive form, it's still in there sometimes. So, we all got to control that. It's called discipline. It's called discipline. Sarita Saw said, me either. Uptown for life. Okay, okay. Erica said, I get my ratchetness from watching baddies. At this point, leave it to the professionals. Yeah, so I knew my kind of mentality had changed when stuff like Love and Hip Hop and baddies and certain things like that stopped appealing to me. Like I no longer wanted to see that stuff. I no longer wanted to even get to know what was going on because my mind had shifted from negative to positive. I wanted to see things that were more enlightening or more informative. So, I guess then the hood in me said, "Man, you want to get back to basics." So, because I love watching McGraw Avenue right now. I love all the Detroit Tubi movies. I think Detroit Tubi movies are the best on there. Even though Milwaukee has been represented on Tubi as well, I think the Detroit movies are the bomb. Brother Murder Payne and Kamal Diesel, I think his name is. Um, they make great movies. They make some good Detroit movies, and it's just a group of actors from Detroit. Um, Mama Jenkins said, "Can't watch fights now. Might get shot. These fools got guns." Yes, they do, Mama Jenkins. A lot of guns out here. There's a lot of guns on the streets of Milwaukee. So we just found the news that Wisconsin has a record. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. A record $7.8 billion budget surplus. $7.8 billion budget surplus. The state of Wisconsin is sitting on right now. We had discussed a couple weeks ago where there was an idea that they wanted to do a $600 million plan. Well, they are going to do $600 million to go back to schools, which is great. But $7.8 billion in a budget surplus, my thing is some of this money should go back to the people. Now, I know that there was a point where they said everybody's going to get $300 and it was shot down. But I think if you got that much money left over, some of that, because it's taxpayers' money in the first place. And kudos to whoever's doing the budgeting because, that's a hellified surplus. And the state often has surpluses. A lot of people don't understand that. The state of Wisconsin has budget surpluses a lot. But this one, $7.8 billion, there needs to be some kind of audit. We need to track where that money's going because that money, that money should be placed in some place, some capacity that the people, the citizens of Milwaukee should be able to, the residents of the state should be able to utilize that money somehow. Erica says New York taxed the rich and was able to fix the New York deficit. Yeah, I don't know why that's complicated math, Erica. I've never understood why people. Well, I understand that you got parties of, politicians that protect the wealthy, but it makes more sense to tax the wealthy to fix things. Like they make more money, so tax them more. The crazy thing is in America, we tend to tax the poor. They are the ones who tend to get taxed the heaviest. So it's just kind of wild. I've always thought that was strange. I've always said, you know what, that's weird. Like that don't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it is what it is. That's how things have been. This is Ace in the chat room. He said Shawnee O'Neal started that bullshit with her NBA wives ass. True facts is there was only one of them heifers that was married, and she was trifling too. Just another way to exploit problems in our community and no one else's. Funky biatch is what he said. Earl Henning says street repairs are needed. Absolutely, Earl. These potholes, come on, man. Come on, man. I seen James Cowsey James Causey, who writes for the Journal Sentinel, he had done a story about some potholes. Yeah, like, and it's funny because as I'm driving, I can see the potholes. So a lot of times you see I'm swerving and I'm like, okay, like this is crazy. And if you don't see one and you run into it, it is a nightmare because you don't know what you just done to your car, right? You're talking about all kinds of suspension issues, steering issues, or down to even damaging tires are expensive. So I definitely think the city of Milwaukee need to raise their hand and say, can we get some help with our streets? Because our potholes are ridiculous. And we don't want you to just come and put some asphalt in them and keep it pushing because we know once it gets cold, and the problem is what they say causes them is when it's ice, it goes into these potholes and it expands them. So it basically pushes the asphalt out. Of course, you come along and plow the street. Now you're left with this big ass hole in the street. And I've seen some nightmare potholes, right? Like some potholes with some depth where you saying, whoa, I could fall in that shit. So yeah, I definitely think they need to put some of that money into Milwaukee streets. Mama Jenkins says 7.8 billion, and we got to bag our freaking leads, not to mention potholes and police services. Yeah. Mama Jenkins, I totally agree. Erica says, yeah, I got a true reality check once I jumped into the tax game. Plus being a community/labor organizer, I truly had to wake up call about how important it is to tax the rich. Yes, that's the way it should work. If you blessed enough, and see, if I made a certain amount of money, I wouldn't even trip on taxes. I really wouldn't. I mean, the best thing you could do is find some tax write-offs, aka charity. Give something back, and they won't tax you like that. But a lot of times wealth brings greed, and so the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, the love of money, right? So when people become obsessed with it and it becomes profit over people, that's when the problems arise. Kerry Walker Jones said, how the fuck did Donald Trump pay $700 in taxes? My bill is always thousands. Well, to put it quite simply, Trump is a crook. Like, right? Would you what else would you say? A says, shit, we knew the infrastructure was bad when an Escalade fell through the street a few years back. The infrastructure's been bad for a minute across. I mean, you got bridges, you got train tracks, you got people don't even understand how much money is actually in infrastructure. As a matter of fact, there's people who predict that infrastructure is where the money will come from in the future because we got highways and expressways and streets and byways, and a lot of them are raggedy as hell, right? Bridges, thoroughfares, all these kinds of things. There's a lot. That's why if you can get into construction right now and contracting, you got your hand on the dollar bill because that's where the money's going to be at. I mean, look at downtown Milwaukee. If you're in the concrete business, look how much money you've already made. Like just from downtown Milwaukee, right? And we know how our mayor loves his downtown, right? It supersedes everything else in the city. Downtown is very important. The problem I have is that a lot of these companies that they get these contracts to are not black owned. There's something that should be done about that. Aaron Brown says, Kev, you should run for a city position. I'm not to brag, but people have told me that many times over the years, but there's a couple different things to that for me. Number one, I really enjoy my anonymity, meaning I like to be able to go about my business without people sweating me. I don't want people around me. I don't want people always coming up to me every time I step out. I can't sit down and have a dinner with my family. And also, I know that a lot of my thinking is biased towards the black community. So I want to see black people get over. And so it'll be a constant fight for me with other people because a lot of my attention would be paid solely to the black community. And they'd be asking me about other places. And I'd be too honest with them about how I really didn't give a shit about anything else except for black people. So, and the black community. So, Erica Hunt said, no, it's the business expenses. And Donald Trump has became good with his opening businesses, writing off hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax expenses. It then closes the business, but yet he's made all that money back. Yeah, that's crooked. When I say Donald Trump is a crook, what I mean is that Donald Trump is a businessman, and most businessmen are crooks. Okay. And I say this all the time. Behind every great fortune is a great crime. And behind every great crime is an old white dude standing there with his hands like this. What I do? Look it up.
He's
If you look
stupid.
at the Carnegies and the Rockefellers, and you look at all these men, the Chases, who Henry Ford, look at the way they came up with their businesses. In every situation, there is a great crime that was committed. There was some group of humans that were mistreated on their way to establishing their wealth. It just is what it is. You can't even really debate it. So, that's part of it. Ian in the chat room. I'm sorry, not in the chat room, but actually on the panel. Let's see if we can get your audio right, Ian. Can you check your mic for us?
Yeah, yeah. How am I? How
Still
am I
can't
sounding?
hear you, my brother. Still can't hear you.
I couldn't be heard in the car either. Ooh,
Nope, nope, nope. Still can't hear you. And my audio is good on the other side, so I don't know why it's not. I don't know why we can't get you
that's
in here.
wild.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me
I don't
see.
know. That's wild. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. We've never had this problem before.
yeah, that's wild. Ooh.
Can't hear you at all. Yeah, I don't know, man. We got to work on that. We got to see what's going on with Ian's audio. I don't know why. But yeah, but I hear you though, Erica. I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Carrie says she can hear him. Oh, okay. I can't hear him. I'm the only one who can't hear him. So that's me. Um, Earl Henning said we need someone like that, Kevin, in office and city hall first. Huh. That's very interesting that people say that. I don't know. I just feel like anytime there's somebody who's about us and about us progressing, they don't get the support that they need. I don't know. What I don't know what that phenomena is about. Because most of the time, the people who are sitting downtown stay down there for a long time. We have this phenomenon in Milwaukee I call name brand Negroes. So people tend to vote blindly for people who've been sitting there for years and haven't done anything. So I would think somebody who's actually doing something wouldn't get the support. Erica said you can also track a lot of the most richest companies' history back to slavery. Absolutely, Erica. That's what I'm talking about. Sharita says she can hear us. Okay. Okay. She says she can hear both of us. I couldn't hear Ian. I couldn't hear anything Ian was saying. So I don't know what's going on. Why I couldn't hear him. Maybe he'll jump back in. Maybe he'll jump back in. We'll see. Like I said, only thing I can do is check on my end, and everything on my end looks like it is what it is. Um, yep, I'm looking at my board. Everything is on the level. I don't know why I can't hear him. We'll see if we can get it taken care of sometimes tonight. Of course, I want the fact checker on. Um, let me see. I'm just going through the chat room right now. Earl said, but we are in white Wisconsin. Exactly, Earl. The state is 86 to 88% white, right? Like, so, you know, it's tough. It's a tough sell here. It's hard to be black in Wisconsin because we just don't represent enough of the state. It's a really white state. I think they always say that 8 to 10% of the state is black, and 85 to 90% of that population lives in southeastern Wisconsin. I got Ian back. Ian, I'm told by the people that they can hear you. I can't hear you though.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay, cool. Because
See,
I
I
was
still
wondering, I'm
can't
like,
hear you. I still can't hear you.
okay, that's crazy. So
Yeah,
y'all
I
can
still
hear me,
can't
but
hear him.
Kevin
I
can't.
don't know what's going
Okay,
on. I really don't. I don't know why I can't hear Ian. I've never had this issue before in my life. So I don't know why I can't hear you.
oh damn,
So
I don't
I
know.
could sit here and just let you talk since they can hear you, but the cues in terms of doing the show would be totally screwed.
No,
I
no,
don't know
man,
what's going on.
it's all good.
Ian, you want to hit the line and call in and just be on the line?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hit the line.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why that's I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll figure that out. Um, A says, why is it fucked up for only for us to only give a fuck about our community when other races of politicians only give a fuck about their community and not ours. He says, hence Jews, Somali, Asians, etc. It's crazy that they're mad at us for stepping back from trying to help everybody else. We can't help ourselves and let alone everybody else. I hear you, Ace, but if you get anytime we've had a person that came in any office that represented us, they were ostracized. People just tried to treat them like the worst person in the world because their sentiment was expressed for the progression of black people. But I mean, that would be my platform. So I don't know. I'd be fighting so hard for the hood because I was alive when this city was livable for a black person. I'd like to see those days come back.
Yep.
Some good times, man. It was great. I always say I had this great childhood. Like I was born into this great situation. My dad worked very hard. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. I grew up in the Rufus King area. Beautiful neighborhood full of black homeowners, black business owners, black educators, black business people. And it was the greatest thing in the world. I was so inspired. And I never once doubted that I would be able to succeed in life because I seen so much black excellence around me. And unfortunately, we don't see that in this city anymore. So I'd like to see some of that come back. What I'd be fighting mostly is to try to get this poverty under control. Sharita said because they only vote partisan for whichever party they are loyal to. And A said he could hear Ian, but I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear him here. Ian, you with us on the line?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm on the line right now. They after. Hey, I'm here too, guys. Is that Dion?
That is absolutely Dion.
You know it.
Yeah, I'm up in here too, man. My sentence is getting too long, and I'm talking so fast. Y'all make
What up, D?
Oh, this is gonna be a call drop. There's too many niggas on the line.
Yeah, Ian, I don't know what the issue was because we've never had that issue before, so I don't know if it's on your end. It don't look like it's on my end, so I don't know why. I've never had that issue ever, so I don't know what was going on with that.
I don't know, because it was in the car. It was in the car from my phone and the computer, so I don't know.
Yeah, I thought at first it was because you was in your car, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, you here, so people can hear you. Also, if you wasn't listening, Dion and Ace are on the phone. So welcome aboard, gentlemen. Welcome to Outlaw Radio live on a Monday evening.
You know it. Real niggas in the house. Real niggas.
That's right.
Mama Jenkins said last week a Milwaukee woman is demanding accountability after she says it took police an hour to respond to her 9/11 call following a home invasion. She said Carriana Johnson says she woke up to the sound of windows shattering at her home near 27th and Silver Spring, followed by footsteps in her family room. The sound was getting louder, and I started shaking. Johnson said she ran out of her front door and made her first 9/11 call at 1:07 a.m. on Friday, May 22nd. Kevin LaFleur in the chat room, what's happening, my brother? He said he heard both of y'all. Yeah, I get it. Y'all can hear him. I couldn't hear him. It would be impossible for me to do anything if I can't hear what my brother's saying.
Yeah.
Sharita said, I probably need to log off. I need to log off. Okay. Because when I log off, the show's over. So I don't know if you're telling me to get just end the show right now.
No,
so
you can't log off.
I didn't see you log off and come back on before, and we was on.
You seen me leave the
Man,
studio.
you lose people like that, cuz.
You seen me leave the studio because I can control who's in the studio or not.
You're probably right. Yeah,
so if I logged off, the show would be over. So it'd be like, okay. So we were like, get your ass out of here. We cool. We just want to hear Ian. That's fine. Let me give you one of these, Sharita.
Yeah, right. Hey, don't nobody want to just hear me. I be on rants and all kind of crazy shit now. Don't nobody.
And you do.
I be going off, bro.
Kerry Walker said Chicago people fuck Milwaukee up. I think there's some truth to that to a certain extent.
No.
The welfare.
It's a systematic thing. Like, and I always say it is systematic in parts, but it's also systemic in parts, because I feel like we kind of just swallowed the poverty pill and just said, okay, well, we're gonna let the worst of us shine out, like be our exposure, our picture to the world. And so that's why you always hear me so critical of a lot of the things that we as people do. It's not a judgment, it's just me saying, yo, like sometimes some of this shit's our fault, right? We have to take account, we have to be accountability, like have to be accountable for some of the shit is on us, right? Like, and so it's hard for people to admit that. Erica said, here's my theory when it comes down to our kin folks, that our city officials in offices who say many years, who stay many years, a lot of them don't come from wealth like our white counterparts. Our skin folks escape poverty, so they play the role because they don't want to return back to poverty, because it's hard to find jobs that pay more than what they are currently making in office. Okay, I don't disagree with you on that.
Well, yeah, that's what was selling your soul and what you believe in. So you're not living for yourself or your people, man. I'd rather become independent before I do that.
Sonia Thrower said you are right. Erica Hunt said disconnect your headphones, it may connect. No, that's not how this works, Erica. I mean, it's funny that people would assume they know more about working my board than me, but you don't.
Damn.
I'm just saying, like, no. I've never Ian been on the show for a minute, and I do the same thing I always do, and I've never had that issue that we just had. So it's
Daphne Joy was getting her board work.
Well, yeah, we know that. Sonia Thrower, how you doing? She said, hi, everyone. Who is this? This is Emma Wilson. How you doing, Miss Wilson? Welcome to the show. I don't know if you've been in the chat room with us before. She said, God is driving this ship. People with money think that they drive me. I don't know what that says, but it won't happen. God is in control at all times. I don't disagree with you. My faith is strong as well. That I think that's why Black people always tend to be okay, because God takes care of us. Sharita Shaw said, love them too. Always a contribution to TED Talk. And then she said, no, we don't that. I don't know, Sharita. I get lost in these comments sometimes, so I don't know exactly what your expression. Sonia said, and they did. Mama Jenkins said, I've been invited to the Obama walkthrough before the official opening on Juneteenth Day. Can't wait. Trump nuts are about to burst. Jealous bitch. Okay. What's the Obama walkthrough? What is this? What is this? Something new? I'm not. She said, do I have Ian? Do you got him blocked? No, I don't have him blocked. God damn. Yeah, I don't have him blocked.
Kevin got tired of this nigga. He done with Ian now.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Knowing Kevin like I know Kevin, if Kevin was tired of him, he wouldn't have got a link to the show.
No StreamYard link for Ian.
I'd have been like, nah, you good, man. You don't need to be on here. Erica said it's the funding re-drug dealer turned community leader, and Wisconsin has a long history of this happening. Huh? It's the funding ex-drug dealer turned community leader. Who are we talking about, Erica? Who's an ex-drug dealer turned community leader? Shabaka, what it do, man? He said, greetings from Sin City Outlaws. What's up, Shabaka St. Corey? Out there in Vegas, man. What's going on, Shabaka?
Yeah,
I'll let your boy. So, I mean, we started to talk about this $77.8 billion budget surplus that the state has, and I say the citizens should be getting some of that money in cash. There was this movement to send everybody $300, but it was voted down. And what's your man's name?
Yeah, they voted that shit down.
What's your man's name, Ian? Tom, what's his name? Tom Tiffany? Is that his name?
Oh, yeah, Tom Tiffany, who's going, according to most metrics, going to lose the Mandela Barnes if he ain't careful. He ain't going to win, bro. He is a Trump supporter. Trump is 57% disapproval rating in Wisconsin. That's not gonna fly over well, dog. I swear it's not. That's not gonna go well. I can't see it. Can't see it.
That's something that I discovered
If I'm
too
not
in looking into him.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's something that I discovered in looking into him, Tom Tiffany, is that he is a conservative Republican and he is a Trump supporter. And that he actually supported the investigation into the election. Like they're still talking about the last election that Trump lost. They're still bitching and moaning about it. And so
yeah, dude.
No more MAGA, no more Republic. Like, let's go Republican free for a while. Once again, I'm nonpartisan. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but this Republican bullshit is just ridiculous, man. Have y'all seen the
this
pictures?
Version of the Republican Party worse than ever, bro.
Have y'all seen the pictures
of
the White House? What Trump has done to the White House, and they're getting ready to have a UFC fight at the White House. They got the concert with the 250 concert that all of the black celebrities are dropping out of. That's not going to be at the White House, but the UFC have a fight that's going to be happening at the White House. Like,
and it's outside. They got light. It's gonna be like almost 100 degrees. I don't know. Y'all don't even know how they can pull that off, bro. That's
but the thing, that's
the White House was,
you know that shit.
The White House was desecrated, though. And I think that's what Kevin's trying to say. Like, it's sad, you know, because if you look on the back of a dollar bill, you see the White House, the U.S. Capitol, and you know, like, man, I got so disconnected from this shit that it don't even really matter no more what that man do, you know, because these people allowed it, and it's sad though, you know what I'm saying? This is really sad, man.
These motherfuckers tacky, bro. Like, really, like, look at it, dude. Like, you look at all the other presidents that was there, bro, and you just look at what this dude did to it. Like, the East Wing gone. He got carnival ass UFC fuck event on the front lawn. Like, what the fuck is this? He's trailer trashed with billions of dollars, bro. Like, he really is, dude. I've never seen anybody more classless. Like, you got Obama, who whether you like him or not, he had class. And then you got, I think Bill Clinton had some class, even though he was popping chicks on his desk at interns and shit. But
even Bush had a little bit
of decor. He had a level of decor. You know what I'm saying? Decor.
I don't know about that, Dion. Bush was an asshole. He could barely talk either, man.
Bush wasn't the most intelligent person in the world. I think that's what a lot of people notice about Bush. He wasn't a great speaker.
He wasn't articulate.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't articulate at all.
But he hired a lot of us in his administration, though. He hired a lot. He had before Obama, he had the most people of color of any administration in history, and he gave $1 billion to Africa for AIDS research. I was shocked when I heard that. I had no idea. The dude was like.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, he was.
He gave Africa $1 billion, but he said fuck New Orleans during Katrina.
Yeah, that's the caveat, bro. Like, I don't understand it. Like, did you do that because you thought your constituents would have an issue with you? Was that the first or second term? Because that don't make no sense. I'm with you on that. It makes absolutely no sense. Why would
that was the second time?
What always confused me about Bush.
You ain't even trying to get reelected then.
What always confused me about Bush is, I don't know if y'all remember when after 9/11 and there was all this patriotism hoopla, and Bush parachuted. Yeah. He jumped out the plane. Remember, he parachuted and landed on the aircraft carrier and was like, "Yeah, victory! Yeah, we got him. And then we was in the war. And I'm like, wait.
That remind me of this shit. That remind me of this Trump shit.
It was like, yeah. I'm like, yo, that was, so you just lied and you just gonna keep going like we didn't. It's like Trump with a lot of the shit Trump, like things that people say about Trump, like with the $1 billion settlements for sexual harassment and stuff like that. It's been in the news. Yeah. Like even with Epstein, right? It was like we seen pictures, all this kind of stuff, and then Trump comes and said, "I don't even know him." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, bro. We seen the pictures, man." It was like we know you know him, right? Like, but it's like, no, I said I don't, and it's like they want to give you like a nudge and a wink, like, no, just act like you didn't know. It's like he said everything he's doing right now. He said he's gonna do. I don't know how many times Dion called into the show before Trump was elected talking about Project 2025, which was laid out crystal clear. And that's why I'm saying,
Countless.
can we be really surprised at anything that he does right now? Because he told us everything he was going to do. He said, I'm going to be a dictator from day one. I'm walking in, I'm telling y'all right now, this shit about to change. And people say, oh, he's just bullshit. He's just playing. He wasn't playing. He told you what he's going to do. So, you know, it's one of them things where I'm always surprised that people just act like they didn't. I didn't know. Well, you knew. Well, particular white people. I said this on the show a long time ago. I said,
side eye.
White people. I said this. You're exactly right. I said white people got to understand right now. The entire world is giving you the side eye. In America, we looking at you sideways, white people, because y'all are the ones who basically made sure he got in office. And so.
Some black people too.
Well, there were some voters. There's some black voters. People are looking at you side-eyed, like they're looking at you sideways, like, yo, what's up with you? Like, and we are right now the laughing stock of the world because we're supposed to represent all this freedom and all of this justice and equality, and that shit's down the toilet. It's like whatever he decides to do when he wake up in the morning, or whoever he decides to mess with. It's like he wakes up and say, you know what, I'm about to bomb somebody's ass today. Let me get on this computer, see who ass I want to bomb. And he does it. And people make excuses for him when he does it. Like, come on.
Hey, the Minnesota GOP, they honored Derek Chauvin. And for all those that don't know who Derek Chauvin punk ass is,
I heard about that.
That put his knee on George Floyd's neck. And to put everything in its proper context, Kevin Hart just had a roast a few weeks ago.
Man, I heard that was so disrespectful.
I didn't watch it. I'm not going to. I know too much. But they had a moment of silence for this bastard today, apparently. And why would you have a moment of silence? I have no idea other than to say, you know, F these black people or whatever. But my point of bringing that up is I got a question to ask you guys. Do you think this is just odd or is it just me? Now, Michael Jackson's music has skyrocketed.
Yes.
Skyrocketed.
Yes.
And this is what I'm thinking about these distractions, right? This is my point in bringing this up, is because you got his music that has just positively skyrocketed. And in addition to that skyrocketing, you have Netflix coming out with another documentary about his cases where, and I fact checked this earlier today because I knew I would bring it up. Michael Jackson was, and I had no idea, he was found I knew he was acquitted or not guilty, but I had no idea because the probability of this is this for Trump is the opposite. Michael Jackson was found not guilty on 10 charges. Right. That's unheard of. Yeah, if you're found not guilty on 10 charges, 9 times out of 10, you probably didn't do it. And that's why Trump was guilty on 34 charges. And he probably did do everything they said in regard to the mortgage fraud. But my point in bringing it up, do you guys think that they want to use some of this stuff as a distraction? Because Michael Jackson is not on the Epstein file. He's not in there, none of that, right? So it's just funny how they want to bring him up with molestation and all this other stuff, where they would actually probably get more views if they did a documentary on Trump and them. And that just truly shows you where we are. And then you got a cop that kills a man in broad daylight. He gets a moment of silence. And then a few weeks ago, you got a sellout with his roast where he has like 17 comedians and 15 were white and 2 were black. And all of the other ones that wrote all the racist jokes were white. Dude, what the hell is going on, bro? These right-wing motherfuckers control this media shit is my point. This is wild to me, dog. Like, we've never seen anything like this, dude. Never.
Well, let me get to the chat room before we answer your question, Ian. Erica Hunt said, "I'm not name dropping. I don't want to be beaten up." I don't know who you talking about beating you up, Erica. I don't know what you're talking about. Kerry Walker Jones said they holding on to it until they can figure out how to make it disappear. Sharita Shaw says both parties are bullshit. It's a lot of comments in here, y'all. Give me a second. Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I'm behind on them. Let me see, y'all. This is this is Mama Jenkins. She's saying, she said the walkthrough is just people that get to see it before the opening. My stepsister is head of security for Chicago Police Department. Hold on, I must have missed what she said.
Dope.
Well, I still don't know what it is though. The Obamas of the library. What are we talking about? Shabaka's in the chat room.
Presidential library.
He said, "Hey Kev, just dealing with this heat, watching the Biscos get sunburned." He said, "Jam, I'm still cum bumming on the dump as in human shit. And I want to make that perfectly clear to quote another crook." That's Shabaka responding to me, just shouting him out because he hasn't been. We haven't spoken in a while. And then Erica says, "No to Tiffany. No Trump supporters." Okay.
No, not at all. No.
I don't know what she's talking about. He said, "How's the humidity in Milwaukee?"
Tom Tiffany.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I agree with you. No Trump. We don't need no Trump support. She said, this is Shabaka saying, "How's the humidity?" Yeah, well, it's not real humid because it ain't real hot here right now. We still in kind of like in our pre-spring kind of thing. So it's not really humid here yet. No, Milwaukee's not a humid place in the first place. Kerry Walker said he mad he can't finish the ballroom. He can't wait to wear his new ball gown. I believe that.
Still the election.
I believe that. Hold on, y'all. Shabaka said two sides of the same coin. He said Shabaka's black experience enhances in semi-hiatus. Okay, maybe that's why I haven't seen you post for a while. Sharita Shaw said Byron. I think she said Biden wasn't that intelligent either. Biden was old as hell. I think his problem was his best days was behind him. Like Biden would sleep on your ass.
Trump and Biden is like a year or two apart, though.
Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah, Biden had more miles though.
Yeah, that might be
Biden
true.
had more miles at the time. Yeah, I just think he just.
They both fucked up. Ain't Trump shitting on himself in public now?
Lord have mercy.
I heard.
They're saying that.
I seen him the other day, dude. They had some nigga booting at the motherfucking White House and shit.
Oh no.
He gave him the fucking
Mikey Deacon Davis. What up, Mike? How you doing, man? He said, "What's happening, Kevin Barnes?" What's up, man? How you doing, Mike? Neighborhood, man. You know what it's
He
about,
called you the whole nine.
Man, whole government. But that's what's up, man. I ain't on the run. That's
my nigga Joey been in, man.
That's faux life right there. What's up, Mikey? How you doing, man? Shabaka said the dumpsters are in need of psychological help. Kerry Walker said they worry about us barbecuing on the front lawn, but this hillbilly can have a circus on the front lawn. And not one of them cave roaches has anything to say. Did she call them cave roaches? I've never heard that one. I heard a sister call them sun dodgers one time. I never heard cave roaches. Erica says, I told y'all Trump said he was going to get America and people didn't listen. She said, me and Dion said it over and over again. Sharita says, because they are all freaks. I literally work with old white men. They are all freaks. That's why Epstein is not given the attention because it's regular behavior. Okay.
And it is, though. It is. Especially rich motherfuckers.
Old men in general tend to be a little on the freaky side. I don't know if they just reminisce.
No, but I'll be seeing, I got the news from the South, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, and I'm talking about they be rounding them up. It don't be one or two. It be 13, 14, then in a child ring. I just put them Trumpers. You know, I'm talking about that. They just, my God, them nasty old motherfuckers. They just like it. They like it. You
Mama Jenkins says, hold on, y'all. Let me get this chat room. Mama Jenkins says, Bush was a dirty motherfucker with the big M. He fuck over black folks. He threw a brick and hit his hand. Okay. His daddy was the director of the CIA, so that's
hell yeah.
That's something else right there. That's a whole.
What Bush we talking about, first or second?
I don't know.
First was the director of the CIA.
We was talking about the second. I know. I was.
And the second, obviously, same thing.
I want to know which president didn't fuck us over.
Erica Hunt said Michael Jackson was a revolutionary. Look at the lyrics in the song "Man in the Mirror." Erica, I don't know about revolutionary. We gotta be careful who we bestow that title upon.
Hey,
I wouldn't say Mike was a revolutionary. I would say maybe he was a
revolutionary visionary
artist.
For sure.
He might have been a revolutionary artist, but I don't know about being a revolutionary. She said, you asked me who the ex-drug dealer turned community leaders was. Okay. Sonia Thor said, well, it's hot down here in Camden, Arkansas. Okay, yeah, Arkansas.
I need to be down there.
Sharita Shaw said,
Sonya, I might have to go down there and see her.
Get them old motherfuckers out of office, is what Sharita says. Yeah. Sonia Thor said, one had Alzheimer's and Trump got dementia. Is he delusional or does he have dementia, right? Like, we don't know. But now, okay, so that's pretty much the chat room I'm caught up. But I wanted to go back to what Ian said about Michael Jackson's music. Because Thriller jumped back up to number 1 on the charts after the release of the movie. But I think it's the nostalgia factor.
Fucking wild.
I think it's the nostalgia factor because I think if you were not alive, and I'm old enough to remember when Michael Jackson was in his prime, at his peak, Michael Jackson was easily the biggest entertainer on this planet. Like, I haven't seen anything even close to it. And he pretty much dominated every genre of entertainment, right? Like, and so there are a lot of people who remember those days. Those were simple days. We were children and we was blown away by this shit, right? Like, because we didn't grow up seeing Marvin Gaye and James Brown and all these people like our parents.
No.
And my parents had seen, a black celebrity get to this height before. So to them, they was just like, oh, he's nothing but a singer. He's a singer who danced on stage. For us as kids, we was like, whoa, like, did you see Thriller's video? Like, we were blown away by it. So I think the nostalgia factor, and let's be honest, Quincy Jones produced the hell out of that album. The Thriller album sonically is one of the best sounding albums you'll ever hear. So that's the big factor. So
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kev. It wasn't even just mute, man. He was a motherfucking businessman. This motherfucker had the Beatles catalog.
He was an elite businessman.
He had, I think he had everybody that was under RCA. Shit, dude had some Eminem shit.
That's Sony.
He also owned the Elephant
He had it. So what happened was, what happened is Sony, he was trying to get Sony off him. So Sony ended up going in the business with him. See, that's how they sunk it. That's what Mike fucked up. And what they did was, after a while, they wanted the whole thing. So basically, that's when all that pedophile shit, because they wasn't giving him all his money, all the royalties he was supposed to get from that shit. His part of it. And then they told him, his lawyers fucked him up, because they said that he was supposed to get his personal royalties, because he was going to use up all his money to buy everything back from Sony. He was supposed to get that back in like 99. His own lawyers fucked him over, and they moved the date behind him, and they moved it out to 2009. Now, coincidentally, in 2009, 6 months before he was supposed to receive his royalties, is when that shit happened. That's when he died. So, and
I got another one for you too, Ace. I don't know if you knew this. You sound like you knew this shit. But for everybody in the audience, Tom Mesereau, his attorney, has stated over the past 20 years now, Michael Jackson wanted to go to fucking court over his sexual assault, all of that stuff with the kids, every case. He wanted to go. He said, he's like, I didn't do any of that. He was like, no, I want to go to court. His insurance company made him. That told me a whole lot. When I found, dude, and he stood on that, apparently he's never changed his story. And people are like, well, no, man. Like, I was in an argument with a friend of mine, and she just kept saying, no, he did it. I said, okay, I respect that, but what evidence do you have to support that? I said, he beat every charge. I was like, you can't support it. Well, no, and those people that hate Michael Jackson remind me of Trump supporters. It's all feeling. There's no facts involved in any of it. They
hold on,
Michael
Ian,
Jackson was child rapist.
That's how I feel about people that think OJ did it.
Wait a minute. Let's say this. What? I know a lot of people love Michael Jackson, right? I know people revere him, but the man openly admitted that as a grown man, he liked to sleep in the bed with children, and he liked to drink wine with children. So,
Man,
so
it was
listen,
X-Files. He
It's
was not
okay,
a
Webster.
pedophile.
I hear all of the conspiracy theories about Sony killed him and Elvis' wife shot him and all this shit. The fact of the matter is fame and fortune destroyed Michael Jackson. It's more of a cautionary tale than anything. Because we all want to be rich and a lot of us want to be famous. It is a cautionary tale that shows you if you get too much of it, it can the whole family was turned into weirdos by fortune and fame. Not one of them looks like a normal person. You know, Michael Jackson sold us on the dream that a black man from Gary, Indiana can have 2 children that look just like white people. Like, come on, man. Like, and it's impossible. And I don't listen, I'm not a Michael Jackson hater either. I want that to be known because I do enjoy.
He turned into a middle-aged white woman.
a lot of his music, I grew up on it, is the soundtrack to my life. But from 1984 to 1988, Michael Jackson became the world's greatest weirdo. And y'all know we was in love with him in 84, and you didn't hear from him in a while because Thriller never stopped selling. Then in 1987, 88, he pops up, and like my man just said, he looked like a middle-aged white woman. We're like, who the hell is this? It was Michael. So there were some issues there. Let's not act like. So I tell you like this: if my son was 8 or 9 years old and he said, "Dad, can I go spend the night with Mr. Jackson? Can you go spend the night with Mr. Jackson?" Yeah, he's rich and he wants me and my friends to come over and spend the night. And he come back home and I say, "How was it?" He said, "It was fun. We had fun. We drank wine, we watched porn, and we slept in the bed with him."
Man, you know
I'll be waiting at the gates in there.
True.
He admitted it. What do you mean it's not true? He admitted this shit.
No, watch porn? He said he watched porn with a kid.
Yes, he's admitted that he watched adult movies with little kids. Yes.
I don't even remember that. I don't see that. I got to see that one.
Right. See, black people love his music. It's the R. Kelly syndrome. We love your music so much, we ignored you pissing in a girl's face on tape and marrying a 14-year-old. Like because we love your music. Like I love to dance.
No, like butthole.
Right. Like
if he did that, that's still fucked up.
I'm just saying the truth is the truth. Yes, he was a great entertainer, probably one of the greatest we've ever seen. It's just like Prince was a great entertainer, probably one of the greatest we've ever seen. But he's a weirdo. You know, a lot of times Prince was straight up dressed like a little girl, like coming out talking about he had a female alter ego named Camille. Man, if you don't get your ass out of here, come on, man. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me.
Hey, Kev, just because he was getting, I'm going to be honest with you, Mike was getting ready to take over the music industry. He's basically was going to be what Sony and RCA and all that shit was going to be. See, that's why all that shit happened. They didn't want to see him get no power. They had no problem with Mike.
I don't think Mike was coherent enough to take over anything. He was taking.
He was getting ready to do that.
Taking horse tranquilizers. He asked the doctor to shoot him up with that shit. That shit. He was on some powerful shit.
With all due respect, you think these Jewish motherfuckers is normal like that? You don't think they doing coke and doing God knows what? Where do you think he got that shit from?
Well, but he got it from him nonetheless, though. He got it from him nonetheless.
Matter of fact, Mariah Carey told us Tommy Mottola was a monster a long time ago. He's called him the devil. Come on, man. We know what these people are about. And they do the same shit in every phase of life that they got, man. Whenever they want something, they're going to first fuck up your reputation. Then they're going to take some money from you. Then they're going to kill you, man. Come on.
Well, you help yourself by shooting up horse tranquilizers and sleeping in the bed with little kids, drinking wine. And a lot of times okay, well, let's call it for what it is. Like once again, Michael Jackson is one of the greatest entertainers of all times, but that's where it starts and stops. It kind of bothers me when people want to make him more than that. Now, in terms of philanthropy, Michael Jackson gave a lot of money to a lot of things that we didn't know about. But I never heard him not one time. And think about it. This is during the 80s. I never heard him not one time really speak to or for the black community. I never heard it. So maybe somebody else heard it. He was the most neutered, non-threatening black man we ever had. And I think that contributed a lot to his ascent to being this great entertainer.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Well, anytime you get a black
Okay.
person that's non-threatening,
Thank you, Dion.
anytime you get a, well, look what happened to his ass, right? So we can quote him too, right? We can talk about OJ. Anytime you get a non-threatening black man, especially a neutered black man, white people tend to love him more than they love the rest of us because he ain't really.
Hey, you know who non-threatening though? Dude on what's that AFV, America's Funny. He played Carlson over there with
He's talking about
You talking
Carl.
about Carl-
man.
Alfonso
What the
Rivera.
hell?
I don't like that.
Alfonso Rivera.
And he married to a white woman.
He don't like you.
Hell no, I don't like that boy.
What he do, dog?
What? That boy is non-threatening like a motherfucker on the real. He is what he
He's
is.
been fondled though, man. He came up in them hard times, man. He been fondled, man. So that's
He was
like
a child star. But the thing about it, he's like Ricky Schroeder and shit, and Webster. You know what I'm saying?
Silver Spoons, Webster.
Yeah.
Fucking different strokes.
That
All
boy-
the short
that boy been a
motherfuckers. ain't
dancer.
sick of.
That boy been a dancer his whole life, man. You gotta watch out.
Arnold died a virgin. Arnold died a virgin, man. He ain't never had no
He
pussy.
was married.
Gary Coleman was married.
He was
yeah.
a virgin.
He was
He
not
was a
a virgin.
virgin. Watch the documentary. Okay, fucking it. I've seen the documentary. The man, he lived in Utah over there. The white girl pushed him down the steps. The man he never penetrated a woman.
I'll tell you something else about Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
What?
his life partner, his best friend, quote unquote, his companion, the long
He was a homosexual, the little dude.
right. That's what I'm saying.
George
That was
Jefferson was like that too.
That was his partner.
He had a real
Hell,
Dudley.
the grandfather off the Cosby Show was gay, who was married to a European white dude. Nobody even talked about that. We didn't even know that shit in the 80s. So
They said, and George Jefferson was gay.
yeah, there's always been speculation
He's
about
moving on up,
Sherman Hemsley.
Sherman Hemsley.
Yeah.
Man, I
He
couldn't
was
believe
talented as hell, though. He was funny as a motherfucker.
I don't think Paul Mooney was gay. I don't give a what y'all say.
Hold on,
Yeah,
y'all.
they
Let
said
me
he
go
had
to the
sex
chat
with
room.
Richard Pryor,
It's
son.
getting backed up.
They
Mama
said Richard
Jenkins,
Pryor, yeah.
Mama
I heard
Jenkins
that
said
one, too.
both Bushes was dirty. Erica Hunt said, I love They Don't Really Care About Us by Michael Jackson. I used to protest in 2020 blasting that song. Yeah, that's when he got in trouble with the white people when he said, Jew me, sue me. Right? Yeah. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he was threatening to him. Erica says, I say he was a revolutionary because he was willing to stand up against these big labels and buy shit. Yeah, so he can make more money. I don't know if that's the mark of a revolutionary. But I look at revolutionary in the sense of the true revolutionary, like a Fred Hampton or a Malcolm X or Patrice Lumumba, somebody who's really about standing up against the grain for human rights. Erica Hunt said, but I was a baby when Michael Jackson was in his prime. My mama was a huge fan, though. It wasn't nobody on this earth who wasn't a huge fan of Michael Jackson in the early 80s. I'm trying to, and especially people who are a little bit older than me, because they remembered the Jackson 5. I wasn't born yet when the Jackson 5 was at their peak. When I came along, it was off the wall Michael Jackson. I Want to Rock With You. And then it went into Thriller and it was like, whoa, like this is phenomenal.
Different. Yeah.
Sharita said, who's all on the call? There's Ace, there's Dion, there's and Ian, and that's who's all on the call. Erica Hunt said, question, is it a coincidence that mass incarceration and the real war on black men at the same time Michael Jackson started transitioning into what you call a middle-aged white woman? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. But this is the 80s. Like, if y'all ain't old enough to remember the 80s was a strange time, right? Because if you was dark-skinned in the 80s, you got no love, right? And like celebrity-wise, the most popular celebrities was light-skinned dudes with, like, look at the DeBarge family. Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, and he became light-skinned. But we didn't start getting recognition until Wesley came at the end. The 80s was a weird time, man. Cocaine was so prevalent in the 80s. There's no telling who we watched on the TV every day that was just snorting cocaine by the boatload, and we don't know about it. I remember televangelists like the 700 Club and Jimmy Swagger. These dudes was buying hookers and all kinds of stuff. Jim Baker. You know, it was a weird time, man. The 80s was a strange time. It was a very it was a different. People had a different mentality, and they say it was the era, the decade of excess. So yeah, the 80s was different. So it is a coincidence though that Michael Jackson's ascent to the top comes at a time when that's also the 80s is the time when the gay agenda really came into fruition. Like it really started to get pushed in the 80s. Like gay became
along with Rockefeller caught that shit.
Gay became very, very mainstream in the 80s, right? Even though it was being decimated by the AIDS epidemic, we seen more gay stuff. Like I know my dad used to always bug out on gay stuff and how much of it was on TV in the 80s. Like that used to freak him out. Like he used to be like, I can't stand that mess. So it used to be crazy. And I used to be looking at him like, what, y'all didn't have this back in the days? He's like, nah, man, you didn't see that back in the day. So I know one of my earliest memories is my dad taking me to the dentist downtown, and on the way to the car, we seen a dude come through in some high heels with some lipstick and some earrings on. And I remember saying to my father, I'm looking, and he could tell I was confused. And he said, what you looking at that man with them high heels on? I said, yeah. And I remember my father's exact words was, well, don't worry about that. That ain't nothing but a sissy. So like, you can't even say that to kids now. Like my papa said, that ain't nothing but a sissy. I was like, what's a sissy? And he spent the car ride all the way home explaining to me what a sissy was. So when I walked in the house,
your father from the South?
Yes, absolutely. Right. And I remember walking in the house and my mother said, how was your dentist appointment? And I'm like, it was cool. Mama, we saw a sissy downtown. And she looked right at my father and was like, why you say that? Why did you say that? My father just like, that's what the hell it was. So it was a different kind of thing back then. Like even our upbringing, I said this, our parents were kind of negligent, man. We used to get up at 10 o'clock in the morning and leave the house. And the only rule was come back by the time the street lights is on. We didn't have no cell phone, no GPS, nothing. Y'all realize we used to be on dirt bikes. We all the way on the lakefront. We heaven knows where riding bikes, climbing trees, climbing fences, going in abandoned buildings, on railroad tracks.
Till midnight.
Well, that right there, Milwaukee was a great place to be back then.
Our parents never even knew. Like they was just like, yeah, go outside. Okay. Like shit. I wouldn't. When my kids was young, they couldn't even go off the block. You go that corner and turn around and bring your behind back. Shit, my mother never even knew where we was at most of the time, man. So it was just a whole different time.
The end of the yard and turn your ass around.
The end of the block. No, you go to the corner and you turn around and come back, man. Shit, man, we get on them dirt bikes.
Back in the day, you could ride the bus and didn't have no problems. Nowadays, man, shit, man, it be going down on the city bus from what I'm hearing.
Sonya Thrower, well, they're getting on for free. Shit, they don't even pay their damn fare no more. They just get on and shit, keep walking. Sonya Thrower said, born black and die white, right? Erica Hunt said, listen, Prince was one of the first bisexual men in the one of the first. Are you serious right now? No, he was one in a long line. Have you ever heard of Little Richard? No, he wasn't one of the first.
Hell yeah.
He was not one of the
first. He's one
first.
of the first major successful, I guess, ones that people didn't have a problem with, if that's what she's trying to say.
I don't even believe he was one of, no, I mean, hell, it's been so many. Marvin Gaye, there's a lot of people that talk about Marvin Gaye and his frutasticness. Like, it's Billy Preston. Like, we talk about, it's there's so many instances of bisexual men over the years. So, I don't know. Like I said, I know Quincy Jones said that who did he say was Marlon Brando's lover? Who did? Yeah. Who, Quincy Jones?
Yeah, he was gay.
I don't know about that. I never heard that Quincy was gay.
I heard shit about Quincy.
I know he told a lot of people business. That's how I found out Richard Pryor had straddled the fence. And then
hey, he said he hit Ivanka Trump too. What's the daughter name? The young one, Quincy Jones. He talked about it in his little memoir. He said he hit her. He said he popped her. I'm like, wow.
Sharita Shaw said he took it over already when he bought the Beatles Masters. Okay. Kerry Walker Jones said LaToya looks like The Walking Dead. Look at Jermaine. Jermaine is inhuman. Like, what are we talking about? That whole family is just weird. Like, they're all. Janet is a weirdo. Like, come on, man.
That
Like,
motherfucker came on. He had on a silver suit with some freeze waves, man. I don't know what
come
the
on,
fuck
man. That
he
dude got
wearing,
permanent finger waves on his head. Like, and he's the shiniest. The shiniest. His skin is naturally moisturized. Like, he sweat lotion, man. Like, what the fuck is up with Jermaine? Like, it's crazy, man. Joseph Powell 1302 on YouTube. What it do, Joseph? He said, what's more dangerous, a kid sleeping in Michael Jackson's bed or playing with one of the elephants on his property? Definitely sleeping in the bed with a grown man is a dangerous proposition. I'm sorry. That elephant, worst case scenario, he might trample you. A grown man who like little kids in the bed with you might do something else to you. How you walking funny for the rest of your life, right? I'm just no. We got to be careful with that. Like, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that was weird too. Like, dude had crazy ass monkeys in his house. Like, it's just fame and fortune, man. Kerry Walker Jones said the father on the Fresh Prince was gay. James Avery. He was a little sweet in how he moved, though. Like, if you watch the Fresh Prince, Uncle Phil was always a little sweet, though. You watch him, you say, I don't know about that brother right there. Like, he was a little,
But back then, I mean, they kept it undercover. That was the thing. I mean, nowadays it's just, man, it's out there. Because I mean, I was tripping as I was going through. And I ain't gonna lie, you went to college at the same time I did. So I mean, how it became fashionable to be gay, and I'm like, man, it's got to be just a phase. This shit is crazy. I've never seen something like this before. Never thought it would ever happen.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see a lot of gay stuff in college. I don't know if it's just because I wasn't paying attention.
People got their ass whooped when you was in college.
They said, I was listening to a radio station today, and he connected marijuana with the testosterone spike in women, because a lot of these women is bulldaggers now, and a lot of these men is feminine. And I believe it though. I believe it, because when they start legalizing marijuana, because this weed is different than the weed we smoke. We smoke what they call Reggie, Acapulco Gold, Hawaii, things like that. They got this loud weed. The THC levels is high. I do believe it might not do everybody, but something has altered the DNA structure of these men and women, where women are more masculine. They
I can tell you this.
And the men are more feminine.
I can tell you this. And this is actual factual.
What you gonna tell?
I'm gonna tell you. In my life, right? And I ain't about to come out the closet. Everybody like, what, kid finna say gay? No. In my life, since I was 15 years old, I have smoked a ton of weed. I'm talking about at one point, especially when I was young, that's all I did.
We're not talking about that Reggie weed, though. The government is altering this weed.
Let me finish my statement. From then to now, and I'm talking about when it changed, when it transitioned from the red hair and the Acapulco Gold and all that stuff into what we got now. There's been no emergence of feminism, effeminate qualities inside of me. And I got homeboys who is the same way.
Maybe it doesn't affect everyone.
Well, then we don't need to. Then if we don't have the concrete evidence to prove it and how the level of occurrences, we probably shouldn't talk about it. I know you don't.
That's just like I believe.
You don't like weed, so you're gonna say
sleeper.
that. You're gonna say that because you don't like.
I believe in sleeper cells. I believe in sleeper cells. Now I shouldn't have to go into the description of what a sleeper cell is, because we all should know what a sleeper cell is.
But you should have some accurate information about it, though. You shouldn't just talk
about it. Sleeper cells don't affect everybody. When you see a person that's an outstanding citizen, they was a dad and just was the top person at the PTA, then all of a sudden they just up and just do a random shooting. It was something that went off in their head because they was being programmed as a sleeper cell. Either it was a sound, a word, a number, a color, something, a smell, whatever. And then people went off.
That's your personal theory. That's your personal theory.
Yes, I knew something was wrong with
that's MK Ultra, Kev. That's MK Ultra.
I've heard of MK.
I knew something was going on.
On your phone and say some shit, and you wouldn't even know.
I knew something was going on with this marijuana when they allowed it to be government regulated. That's just like in prison. I don't know how true that is, but they say they put saltpeter in the food.
That's
where your penis don't get hard. Where you don't have no type of sexual urge.
That is a theory, but if that was the case, then nobody would be getting their tailpipe busted open in jail.
You know what I'm saying? So who's to say? And if you listen to that radio station, you would have heard, and maybe you would have had to go do some research on it. But I believe that it's concrete evidence, especially they saying Donald Trump is trying to lift the regulations on it, because I guess I can't remember what they said. What type of level drug is marijuana? It's like cocaine, heroin, marijuana is like a level 2, some type of. They trying to lift that on it. They trying to lift that. Why is this man what interest does he have in marijuana to lift the category of marijuana to allow it to be legal for everybody? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here?
Well, first of all, I think it's less damaging than other drugs. But once again, my thing is we got to be careful when we talk about what we believe without real hard, concrete evidence, because without that, it's just a theory. Like, so I hear you, right? Speculation. I hear you on what you're saying. Some of the stuff you're saying makes sense, but we got to be careful about spreading misinformation. That's dangerous, right? Like, and I'll tell you why. Because the drug codes that we live under right now came to be as a result of a racist FBI agent, Harry J. Anslinger, okay? Racist FBI drug czar who came out and said that reefer madness existed, in which every time a black man smokes marijuana, he wanted to make love to a white woman. And this is what drove the whole criminalization of marijuana. And there are a lot of people who have been in jail for a long time for selling marijuana, sitting next to rapists and murderers. And I don't think the crime fits the punishment. So to decriminalize it for me is a good thing, because I think it keeps a lot of us, because who's going to jail for the shit? We are. So I think it's taking a lot of us away from where we should be. Now, drug abuse is drug abuse, right? And it is a gateway drug. So a lot of people let their guards down when they start smoking weed. Next thing you know, they sniffing cocaine, right? I mean, it's Prince. That's his quote from Sign of the Times when he said, "In September, my cousin tried reefer for the very first time. Now he's doing horse. It's June." I agree with that. I agree that. I agree with that. I don't know who's trying to sing in the background. That shit was horrible. But that shit was horrible. But no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying we got to be careful when we start spouting out information and we don't have concrete evidence. It's like saying, well, this exists. Now, I don't know how or why or how it works, but it exists. Well, if you don't know, you probably shouldn't talk about it. You ever heard somebody start a story out with when they say, I might be lying? Okay, why are you talking then? Why are you telling me if you know you might be lying?
We ain't got no concrete evidence as a God, but a lot of people believe in it. They believe in Noah's Ark and all that.
The concrete evidence for God is faith and testimony. There's some people who can tell you instances of miracles. That's concrete evidence. There's people who can tell you what God has done.
It's really not concrete evidence. It just ain't. It just never meant to happen. You know, I tell people, be like, well,
somebody bears witness to a miracle, how can you tell them that's not concrete evidence if they bear witness to a miracle? It is concrete evidence.
I mean, listen, that's their opinion. And in my eyes, I don't think that it was just meant to happen. If everybody in a car accident died and you the only one that died and walked away with a scratch, it wasn't your motherfucking time to go.
Or it was a miracle that you lived. Like, it depends on where you stand.
No, it just wasn't your time to go. It wasn't your time.
See, Dion, that's your opinion, but that don't necessarily mean that that's factual. That's your opinion.
And it's not factual that it was a miracle neither.
It is to that person.
That's what we want to believe. That's what we want to believe.
It is to
that's
that
what
person.
we want to believe because we've been indoctrinated to believe it.
It is to that person who experienced it. That's their lived experience.
Okay. All right. I agree with you on that.
Like, I can't tell you something. If you survive something miraculous, I can't sit there and tell you, oh, this shit wasn't nothing, man. You just wasn't meant to die yet. I'm discounting if this person said no. I'm telling you, it was a miracle. Okay, well, I take it for what it's worth. If you say it, you believe it, it restored your faith, that's fine. That's fine. You are allowed to believe in things that you don't necessarily understand. I'm not saying you can't do that. But when it comes to scientific theories, which a lot of black people are backyard biologists and physicists, like they can tell you some shit about biology and physics and metaphysics and all kinds of shit, and ain't read one book of research. There's a lot of us. That's why I love going to the barbershop, because black people are super intelligent without knowing a damn thing. A lot of times they'll tell you some shit and you'll be like, where you get that from? And then you go look it up and be like, that shit ain't even true. But he'll be out here spreading it like peanut butter. So we just got to be careful about spreading misinformation. Let me go to the chat room. Brendan Hayes said Rick James. I never heard that Rick James was gay. I never heard that he was gay.
Rick James. Greatest of all time.
I always heard he was a supreme womanizer, but I never heard he was gay. Ruben Anderson. What up, Ruben? He said, what it do? How you doing, Ruben? Welcome to the show. We just over here pontificating on a Monday night, me and Dion yelling at each other like we always do. Sonia Thor said, yep, come back before the street lights come on. That's what when you was a kid, you had fun. Yeah, I mean, you know, my parents, I mean, they was good parents, but they just gave us too much damn freedom. Right. And so, you know, I guess they give you enough rope to hang yourself. Erica Hunt said, my big sisters used to be in the house by the street lights. LOL. Y'all old. This is why I enjoy this conversation. Little Richard is my mama time. I don't know about that. Little Richard was my mama's time too, but my mother and father grew up in the 50s. He was way before me, but I just remember seeing him growing up saying something ain't right there. And once again, my father's voice coming over my shoulder saying, he been a sissy forever. Like, okay, here we go with the sissy word again. Ruben said, yep, he approached Tupac. Quincy Jones approached Tupac, did he? Earl Henning said Hollywood is gay.
Shit, I ain't never heard that.
Sharita Shaw said they have mood weeds. Okay. I know. I hear a lot of people talk about sativas and indicas and the difference and all that. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't. By the time I started doing that kind of thing when I was younger, I wasn't really doing research on it. I would just roll that shit up, man. Like we were just trying to get high. We wasn't really trying to engage in scientific theory about the shit. Erica Hunt says, bring back normal gayness. Remember when gay meant you were attracted to the same sex? What do it mean now? What is it now? What's abnormal gayness? Earl Henny said you come out gay day one of your life. Is that true, Earl? That you born gay? Like, come on now. I know some gay dudes like.
What? Who said that? Where they getting this shit from?
That's no. You don't need concrete evidence though, Dion.
They said we come out gay in our life. Damn.
Erica,
I know. I remember from kids always liking women. Though I still love me some women.
Yeah, I don't know about that. If I came out my whole life liking women, how come
I wish I was
whole life liking me?
Man, listen. I remember being a kid, and my mama used to have them women statues like they was lamps. Man, I licked the titties on them motherfuckers. I ain't lying to you. And then, man, listen, I've been liking women for a long. I still love women though. I love it so much. I be wanting to buy, get it, whatever. Because I'm getting older now, and eventually this motherfucker gonna stop working. I want to buy, get it, however.
He said, I be wanting to
on
buy.
The real. I be wanting to buy. I ain't gonna lie to you, shit.
Erica Hunt says, haha, I know that's right, Kev. The weed is not the reason, because I've been smoking from age 16 to my late 30s, and I'm such a pretty little lady. Okay. Sonia Throwers in the chat room, she said, the black man get more time and the white man get less time. That's right. Disproportionate conviction rates. That's another reason why I feel like certain things should be decriminalized. She said, sing it. Sang it, y'all. Whoever that was who decided to blow a little Prince in the background.
Oh, hey, on a different note, really quick. Apparently, I think that my theory that Tom Tiffany will lose to Mandela Barnes is very evident. Guess who's coming to town on Friday? That's right.
Tiffany.
President Donald J.
Yeah,
Trump.
He's coming to
Wisconsin on Friday.
Sharita Shaw said no.
He gonna be in Arizona, or is he gonna be here?
He's gonna be in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Sharita Shaw said no. It doesn't depend on where you live. Okay, we've been so far along in the conversation. I don't know exactly what she's referring to. Earl Henning decided to drop this in there. Fuck Donald Trump and his friends. Like, right? Like, Earl, that's your definitive statement all the time. He says, "Are you gay?" Who we asking? Me? I don't think I'm gay.
Oh, shit, gay. Like,
all right,
what?
I don't know what kind of question that
It's
is.
really are you a homosexual, not gay? Because gay is happy.
Right.
Homosexual means that you like the people in the same sex.
I don't think
Trisexual is like you'll try anything, I guess. The bisexual, then
I
they
don't
got
know.
lateral
I don't know that
sexual,
anybody. I don't know that
What the
anybody
fuck
would
is
ever have
lateral
to.
sexual?
I don't know. We have to ask each other that. I don't know. We have to even get to the point where we, hey man, are you gay? Like I don't, unless you start seeing some suspect behavior.
But hey, keep it real though, Kev. On what in the last like 5 years? I ain't gonna say you because I don't know about you, but I know my gaydar is like like at first I ain't had gaydar because we didn't grow up. We didn't have to grow up knowing that he was a fag. We knew he was a fag. But now when you look, because I do a lot of, I ain't gonna lie, I do a lot of blowing at women when I drive down. Like, I might see. I ain't gonna lie, it was a thick ass stud when I was in Chicago. She was whoa. But anyway, though, I'm talking about strap stud. But anyway, though, but she's still a woman though, regardless of whatever. So I don't care what people say. But anyway, though, so my gaydar is on point. If it's a woman that's a woman, but she look like a man, I think she a man. But now you gotta have the gaydar on. You can't just approach anything, blow at anything, whistle at anything. You just gotta be like, boop, man, boop, possible man, boop, that's a woman, boop. You just gotta, and your gay, because that's how it is now.
I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you can't tell until they, pull it.
Man,
Sarita Shaw's
you gotta
in the
have
chat
your
room.
eyes hawk.
She said "fucking freak" right now. I don't know what we getting lost here. But
women have different collarbones than men.
Listen, check this out. I want to lead this conversation. I want to get away from it. Especially when Earl in the chat room like, are you gay? Like, wait, hold on. Like, let's talk about something else. I want to talk about the Roots picnic over the weekend that was held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you don't know what the Roots picnic is, it is basically a music festival that's held every year by the group The Roots, in which they bring out hip hop's finest and put on a concert and a show for the people. Now, the biggest news out of this is finally, after years of silence, we get Jay-Z, first of all, come out with an afro. Dreads is taken down. He got this big thuggish, ruggish bone afro. But he does a freestyle.
Looking like Sideshow Bob.
He does a freestyle, right? And the freestyle is more like spoken word. But he responded to a lot of his critics over the years. And so people have been excited about this. Like all of the media talked about this, all like on the Breakfast Club, all these shows. And I'm big on YouTube. I stay in the Podverse. And the discussion has been this freestyle in which he responded to Drake and Nicki Minaj and Kanye West and all this kind of stuff. First of all, let me say, I'm not against beef in hip hop because I think it's a competitive sport. I think it's a contact sport. But I think people get a little bit too excited about certain shit. Like, this wasn't even close to the best lyrics I've ever heard Jay-Z say, right? Like, I thought it was a little, the way he even spit was a little off kilter. Like it sounded like it was not always flowing comprehensively. I was glad to hear him respond to some of the people who've been critical of him. But whatever happened to the good old adage in rap is that go get in the studio. When somebody get at you, get in the studio. Get in the studio, get a funky ass beat, and get at their ass, no Diddy, right? Now, I know a lot of people were talking about Jay-Z saying, but 50 Cent been very critical of you as well, and he didn't respond. He didn't address 50 Cent, which I think he should.
He know better.
See, I don't think 50 Cent would stand a chance lyrically against Jay-Z. I just don't hear it. I don't.
Well, not in a battle, but trolling him. 50 gonna troll. He gonna make songs. He just gonna do a whole bunch of dumb shit. That's what I mean. Jay don't want none of that. He like, man, screw this dude.
Yeah,
he
can meme up all he wants, but if you make a dope ass song, all that shit's put to bed. Yeah. And I think Jay can hit the booth.
I don't think he can no more. Do you think he can?
Absolutely. I know he can. I know he can. I know I mean, I think the way Jay-Z done this and just his mere control of the game, where he can come out and do this offbeat freestyle, and it turns the whole rap industry on its ear, shows that he is probably the biggest hip hop celebrity that we have in terms of a rapper. He's probably the biggest one that we have left, right? And I don't think lyrically 50 Cent, I don't think he's even close to Jay-Z. So if we go song for song, if they're going to start making diss songs, if we have another Kendrick Lamar Drake type situation, I think Jay-Z would absolutely wipe 50 Cent out. I think he would just kill him.
Never.
I think he would.
Never. Fifth will come back at him too, though.
Yeah, he come back, but you can come back, right? Like you can respond, but what does it mean? I just don't. I've always thought Jay-Z was a much better artist than 50. I really have. I don't, but rap is subjective.
In America, maybe.
Rap is, that's where I live, so I don't know about, Sharita says it made her like Jay again. She said it made me like him back. It definitely sounded like it was a battle rap, she says.
They say Jay was taking that booty too, I heard.
Say he definitely can. She agrees with me that I think Jay-Z would watch 50, and Sharita says bring rap back. Yeah, bring it back to its essence for what it was. Get rid of the bells and whistles, man. Get rid of the glitter and the glam, and just two turntables and a microphone, man.
That shit ain't never coming back.
On that how to rob, man, 50 got it. Everybody. 50 lyrical though. I ain't gonna lie to you. He only really had to drop that one album with that Get Rich or Die Trying. That shit legendary. On my,
I think it's overrated.
I walk around my drawers on this motherfucker. But yeah, though. Oh damn, my fault.
Jay-Z album better than that.
I think Reasonable Doubt is 10 times better than Get Rich or Die Trying.
Hell no, Kev, you ain't like Cash Money and Master P. So
I didn't. I think both of them were garbage. But Reasonable Doubt is one of the greatest rap albums ever made. Like you can't even.
No,
compare.
Reasonable Doubt is phenomenal, but it ain't better than Get Rich or Die Trying.
Please,
production ain't even close to it.
You out your mind. You out your mind. Come on, man. Something like Brooklyn's Finest.
You talking about the lyrics.
I'm talking about the beats too. There's beats on there that are classic. Like you ain't.
What? Never.
Man.
Come on, man.
I can't even.
Politics as usual. Come on, man. That beat is. Come on, man. Stop it. Hell
no. I'm not saying it's not a great album, but compared to Get Rich.
It had great production. I mean, it had great production on it too. It's not.
I'm not saying it didn't, but I mean, Dr. Dre produced like 4 songs on the other one.
Man, when him and M did that one, man, stop it, man. That Get Rich or Die Trying was some shit.
I feel like that's
for living in the Powerverse.
I understand where Kevin's coming from, but I'm like, nah.
Nah, see, he says that, but it's funny because I was listening to hip hop music way before it was the internet. So my summation of it is not based on anything in regards to the Podverse, because most of my favorite rappers don't even appear no more on YouTube, right? Like, because I'm a West Coast dude.
Exactly.
I'm a West Coast dude. Different. So you don't even see a lot of my favorite West Coast artists from back in the days on the internet. It was before this whole thing even took place. So my opinion on Get Rich or Die Trying has never really been high. I never thought it was that great of an album. So I mean, it got some moments, but it's not something like gotta learn to live with regrets or Brooklyn's Finest, or it's not even close to Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt is
to me lyrically is not close to anything Jay-Z's ever made. I agree with that, but with the way he rolled them beats, sales, promotion, and production. I'm sorry, Reasonable Doubt, no, that's not on the same level in my opinion, but I understand where you're coming from because you ain't wrong, obviously, for your opinion, but nah, not to me, man. It was too much. It's kind of like when LL dissed Cannabis and people were like, oh man, Cannabis got at him. I'm like, no. I'm like, no way. No.
It's once again, you got to understand.
That was a machine, bro.
Hip hop is subjective. So it's based on your personal kind of perspective. And that's why I say people don't agree with me. Dion is not the only person who disagrees with me when I say Most of No Limit's output, save a few albums here and there, was trash. And to me, most of what Cash Money did
I never liked that stuff.
was trash. Like I wasn't into Cash Money. I thought it was just dumbass rap. Like it was just simple-minded. Like it appealed to people who really didn't have a real high intellect. That was my opinion, though. That don't mean it's true.
That's true. That was back then for me. Yeah, I was the same way. I don't like none of that shit.
Yeah, I just thought it was fast food, carbon, like microwave rap, like just add water type shit. That's why I'd like a lot of
I'm a huge Master P fan because I think he's a brilliant businessman. Like I'm a huge fan of his business acumen, but his music I didn't really like it that much. But it's better than a lot of this stuff now.
Well, that ain't hard to bet. We living in the age of the internet rappers now. You don't even need to put. Okay, so my example for that is I was listening to an interview. I was listening to an interview with DJ Quick on YouTube, and they asked him what's better, analog or digital, and he was talking about how he still records to tape. He still records to 2-inch tape, and he was talking about the difference between analog versus digital. Whereas now, when you use these computer programs, it gives you sounds. But when you look at those old artists, this is the main reason why old school R&B is better than R&B now. You had people actually playing these instruments, putting their soul into these instruments. You listen to the music from the 70s.
Way better.
You listen to the music from the 70s, especially funk, man. Like every time I listen to Parliament, I'm blown away by the level of instrumentation because you can feel that music, man. Compared to now, you don't even really hear live guitars now or live piano. You just hear a bunch of synthesizer sounds, and that's soulless. So, I just when it comes to how rap used to sound, where they were using a lot of the old music, and you had like actual real musicians and producers used to be musicians, not just button pushers. Now you got dudes who got Pro Tools, and I don't know if you know if you don't know how this stuff works, it's cut and paste basically. You can take a drum sample and take a sound and just cut and paste and make the track, right? And then put that shit on YouTube. It's really easy to do. And you'll go platinum. That's not artistry to me. That's no wonder AI is becoming so popular because it's all artificial.
Your ears are. I was gonna say your ears are programmed to listen to like instruments. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. My son, when he was 5, he had never like certain things. You just kind of play with the kids. So I played Reason, the one from '71, the live one they did, the 8-minute one, the 8-minute version. And my son he lost his mind in the back seat. He was just bopping his head, and he started humming it after he listened to the first verse. He loved it. And then I would play a pop song on purpose, and he didn't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm with you on the musical stuff.
Well,
yeah, I love
subjective because I can remember my son was young, and I would be playing something like Rock Him or something, and he'd be like, "This is trash. Like, put on Drake." And I'd be like, "What? This Scarface? He didn't give a shit." Like, man, he rap too slow. So it's a different.
Can I have an EM moment? I need an EM moment real quick.
A who?
Oh wow.
An EM moment. You know how we be talking about one thing here to come in and
change
talk
the subject.
Say some other shit. Yeah. I just want to. No. But we're gonna finish about that though. But I just want to say that's crazy. They found that Chinese man not guilty in South Carolina for killing that boy. But I don't know, man. You be out here playing these games, you get fucked around. It just remind me of that girl. What was her name? Tasha something.
You're not talking about Carmelo Anthony, are you?
What? What the hell? No, hell no. Now that's in Texas, my guy. We talking about South Carolina.
Texas.
Yeah, it was a boy in South Carolina. I shared with you, it was a boy in South Carolina did something to a gas station clerk, and the clerk shot him in the back and killed him. Though. Yeah, but they found him not guilty. That shit crazy, but it seems like for black people, man, we just don't get no justice, man. No matter how much money we got, we don't get no justice.
Hell no. Erica Hunt said was Jay-Z in the Epstein files. I don't know. I don't know if Jay was at the Diddy party. I don't know.
When Diddy getting out anyway, though? Diddy should be coming home, man.
He will be. Look, since Sonya Thrower's in the chat room, she says rappers getting on my nerves. Sometimes they don't know what they rapping about. Belong.
People hate rap now.
What they talking about. Grow up. You grown man. They need to stop being assholes. Okay. Well, who are you talking? Who are you talking about? I don't know who you talking about. I don't like say exactly who's the asshole. Like 50 is like she said they don't know what they rapping about, or do you not understand what they rapping
I
about?
got a question. What's better, Get Rich or Die Trying or Biggie first album?
Ooh.
Ready to Die, of course.
Yeah,
No, it's not even close. It's not even close, man. Come on, like it's not even close.
I ain't gonna lie, Biggie first album was cold. It's hard to argue that.
Groundbreaking, game changing. It's 10 times better. It's just man, come on, man. Like I can't believe you even asked that question, but I mean, like I said, it's subjective. So somebody
y'all gonna make me bump that.
That Biggie album is cold.
Sharita said, "When I saw State Property on the stage with Jay-Z, I have hope again." Okay.
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was beautiful to see.
Earl Henning said, "Bring the rap back. We can understand." Okay. Erica Hunt said, "Forget that forget that. Are y'all ready for this Juneteenth celebration?" Right. I love it when people tell me, "Well, we don't want to hear that shit. Let's talk about something else."
I'm ready to be off
Shaw
that
said,
day.
"Politics as usual is one of my top 10. Mine too." She said, "Dude said it's not close, but named his top 5." Who said it's not close, but named their top 5? Who named the top 5? I didn't hear anybody name the top 5. Erica Hunt said, "I was jamming to my old school R&B, and I was playing my air piano, trying to hit those notes like Whitney Houston." Sonia Thor said, "All of them is assholes." Erica Hunt said, "Biggie."
Was the best ever.
Yeah, of course. Kerry Walker Jones said, "Got to let them know." And Sonia Thor said she liked blues. I like blues too, to a certain extent. What I don't like is new blues songs. I don't like when these new blues artists try to make like modern blues. Like I like the old school blues that my uncles and my pops used to listen to. You know, Johnny Taylor and you know, I mean, I like Johnny Guitar Watson and stuff like that. I like Albert King and love BB King, but these new dudes, I'm like, yo, I don't like that shit. That shit is not good for me. But I didn't grow up on it, so I guess that's the difference. But she said, "I'm gonna try to make it up to Milwaukee for June 19th. For June 19th home to come home." She said she's gonna try to make it. Look, I'm glad that Juneteenth Day is coming. I always think Juneteenth, the celebration of Juneteenth, is a great thing. And my fingers get crossed automatically because I don't want anything to happen that will just kind of put a stain on what it's about. I'm proud that Milwaukee is a place that kind of pioneered the Juneteenth Day celebrations. One of the first places that started to have a major celebration for Juneteenth Day. And it's a good, anytime black people can get together and don't nothing happen, it's a good thing. Like we just had Heal the Hood over the weekend and it was on Atkinson. Shout out to the neighborhood. And I didn't hear anything happen. I didn't hear anything negative happen. And when I looked on Facebook, I seen a lot of people together. I seen a lot of brothers celebrating and supporting Ajamu. So shout out to Ajamu and Heal the Hood. Normally he comes on before he does Heal the Hood and talks about it and promotes it, but he didn't do it this year. But it's all good. I mean, I understand. I'm nobody in this big old universe. Outlaw Radio is nobody. Kevin Barnes is nobody. It's cool, but no. But I'm shout out to Ajamu Butler, man, and Heal the Hood, man. Apparently they did a good job because nothing happened. I'm hoping Juneteenth is the same way, and I hope people understand the significance of Juneteenth, being that is the celebration of a group of people who didn't know they had been emancipated, being informed that they were free. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's peaceful. I rode horses in Juneteenth Day a couple times, right? A historical trivia fact that a lot of people don't know. Rode my horse right through the ghetto.
I give you a historical fact that people don't like. Charlie Kirk said Juneteenth was a real holiday. Yeah, that's some historical facts for you, too.
Yeah.
We don't need the white man to tell us to celebrate nothing.
I got a historical fact about Charlie Kirk, too. Somebody spilled his lunch, right? Like he didn't, he at one point his time was up, right? So he won't say nothing else.
For years he said that. I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, he won't say nothing else. I bet you he ain't saying shit now about Juneteenth Day.
No, he's not.
Kerry Walker Jones said I used to have to listen to Little Red Rooster. Wow. Okay. That's pretty old school. She said they didn't cut it down. They cut Juneteenth down to 2 blocks now. Have they? I know they changed the route because when I rode my horse in Juneteenth Day, we started somewhere over there off, I want to say Center. And then we rode to MLK and then went down MLK. And now it starts on Atkinson. At the top of Atkinson and goes down.
They go all the way to Center.
Right. Well, they extended it a couple years ago. It actually goes down further now. It goes a little bit further downtown. But you're right. Back in the days, it did stop somewhere around Center. I know we started and we rode east, and then we got on MLK, and then we went south. So I don't know.
I want to share some of my stuff with you too, Ken, man. I want to share my power world with you. Because like I be listening, like I was listening to Lurie Daniel favorite talk, and this is correlated with Juneteenth. I don't feel like white people should be at Juneteenth. A lot of you, now I don't know about that. I feel like we need our own fucking space, man. Like it's like we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say we don't know because I don't know what all you guys know. But it's doctors. It was a dermatologist. They tried to have a website solely for African Americans because our skin is different than European skin. The white people found out, a white dermatologist found out about it, sued them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be able to have our own space. I don't know if you heard about the tennis player. I don't know her name, Unaka, whatever her name is. But she had a thing solely for just her and sisters. You know, white people were mad, like, why? You know what I'm saying? We need, because they're excluding us. We don't want them at our barbecues no more. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I swear, dude, I'm glad I've been feeling like this all my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate them motherfuckers for real. And I don't care if it be known how they feel. Why you feel? I don't care. I'm not like them. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. We need to have our own space and be able to do our own things, and they need to be excluded because that's what we was talking about last year, remember? Me, you, and Bull, and we was talking about Juneteenth being extended to Summerfest. I was like, no, it needs to stay with us. You know what I'm saying? Because soon as it's allowed to be commercialized and allow everybody to come up in there, we don't want the Italians because I don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I don't celebrate, man, as soon as I get on the phone, the dog, let me finish my point. I'm about to go beat the shit out these dogs. I'll be back.
Okay. all you animal lovers out there, that was good news, right?
Oh my Lord.
Let me go to my chat room, y'all. Let me go to my chat room.
I called you back.
Let me go to my chat room. Erica Hunt said it's been a family tradition for my family for 6 years to be in a Juneteenth parade. I usually leave by noon, but we go. I haven't been in a very long time. I have not been to Juneteenth Day in a very long time. Sonia Thor said, I remember back when it was on 3rd Street and it was like 4 blocks. Is the street name changed? Yeah, well, it's not 3rd Street anymore. It's MLK now. Let me see. This is Erica. She said the parade start on like 12th and Atkinson and goes all the way down into Burleigh where the vendors start. Then they go all the way down to Center Street on MLK Drive. I just know a couple years ago they passed the ordinance as the Common Council passed the ordinance that extended it. So I don't know where it goes now. Earl Henny said African World Festival and we fucked it up. Yeah, well, long discussion about that, Earl. She said, Kerry Walker said, where the fuck is Peter? Laughing my ass off because Deion's beating shit out of his dogs in the background. Sonia Thor said, don't whoop the dogs. Please don't whoop the dogs. They gonna be good. It's too late now. He down there putting belt to ass on them dogs. Deion's a dog lover, though. I doubt he doing anything too serious to them dogs. He love them dogs.
No,
Deion love them dogs more than he love people. But I don't think we should make Juneteenth so white people, because how do you stop people from coming? So anytime a white person come to police say, oh, excuse me, you're gonna have to leave. This is only for niggers. Like, I don't believe we should. I think we got to be careful when we say we want something just for us, because if they do it for us, they're gonna do it for everybody else. And the one thing we don't like to be told as black people is where the hell we can go and what the hell we can do. And if I pull up at some shit that you done deem whites only, but I want to see the shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be pissed. Like, what the fuck you mean I can't come in? What you mean? So, if white people want to come to Juneteenth, let them come. I think
I don't think it's the safest idea.
I was about to say that if I was white, I'd be cautious about coming to Juneteenth Day. But I told y'all if I was a white man, I'd be racist anyway. So I'd be one of them white dudes who'd be saying shit like, I'm not going down there with all those niggers. That's nigger fest. I'm not going to that.
Hey,
so,
like my mom used to work for Hawthorne McNally law firm. She was there for almost 20 years. And Chuck would have a booth down there every year. So he was white. I mean, he Iranian, but, we go down there. He'd be down there. He'd leave at around 11:30, 12. He'd be down there all day, but
Your white friend, what's his name? What's his name? White boy who was calling in to older.
You talking about Jeff?
He said he was going to have.
Jeff crazy, yeah.
He said he was going to have a booth down there this year. He said he was going to be a Juneteenth Day this year. Yeah, so
I think he'd be down there every year.
Yeah, I mean, some of them like to sit around and watch the scene. They like the scenery. There are a lot of black women at Juneteenth.
Yeah, and you know what's funny that you said that though, bro? It's funny that you said that because I was talking to Jeff like a week ago, and just talking about it, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, he did say he got some excellent, some interesting perspectives. He's like, I'm not black, man, so I don't understand the perspective. I'm like, no, I was like, I get that, man, but I'm like, I'm like, you can't see why we hate Trump so much. And then he did say he could see it from our perspective, for that. But I'm like, man, I wish it was your perspective too, brother, because there's no reason to like that guy. And no capacity. There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason like that.
The other night, I was sitting out.
What?
The other day, I was sitting out.
Dion, you got to rap. We can't hear you. You got to stop whispering.
No. I got my trucker Bluetooth on, so I had the mic down. The other day, I'm sitting up, and this correlating back to what I was saying about us having our own space and excluding them. I want to exclude them. I think they should be excluded for anything that we got to do in life. We ain't been part of theirs, but we a lot of times, and I can't, I'm not gonna say we, but I'm gonna say I'm just sitting up thinking, and I was watching Emmett Till, and I couldn't imagine being his grandfather, a man, allowing these people to come in my home and take my grandson, and I couldn't do nothing about it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times that, like a lot of times people don't believe in the post-traumatic slave syndrome, and they be wondering why a lot of men is not in the household. Could you imagine being a man in love with your woman and the white man come up in there, have his way with her, take her, and you can't do nothing about it? Then not only that, he embarrassed a child by her. So now you got to see this little European child running around in your house. You can't do nothing but leave. A lot of times I don't think we understand the torture and the pain that these people went through. I just, like a lot of people like, if you so woke, this and another. White people have a global, they have their, what they call them octopus, tentacles. They have their tentacles on so much stuff. So even if we want to separate, we don't have raw materials. We still got to buy them from the white man. Even if we wanted to buy them straight from Africa, we don't own no cargo ships. So there's no way around them. But in certain, Juneteenth is an intimate thing to us. They don't understand it. They don't understand what it was like. I don't know how long. I think they said it was 2 years those people were still down there in Texas in slavery before the Union soldiers came down there and told them that they was free. And see, people don't really understand, and I hate when I say people don't really understand because I shouldn't say that. But just when you think about it, it's hard to fathom that you've been in bondage all your life. And when they tell you you're free, you have nowhere to go. You just free. See, people don't visualize that slavery wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't. That's why the pain still kind of run deep. What was slavery but 4 generations away? My mama, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother, damn near 3, because my grandmother was born in 1925, so my great-grandmother had to be born like 18-something. She could have been born in 1897. Then you go my great-great-grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So you got 4 generations ago, people that look like us, we were in bondage. You feel what I'm saying? It was fear. White people come do whatever they want to. Even when slavery ended, then you had the Jim Crow, and the white people still would do whatever they wanted to, and we had to be in fear. You know, we still are in fear to this day. You know, because there's no reason why we shouldn't just be like, they do so much to us, it's like poking a bear. Like you just seen, and what was that? I think that was Shelby County, South Carolina. The police beat the shit out that girl. And the dad, you know, he was talking about, he was in tears, like they did my daughter like that. I'm talking about the police was whooping her ass. And the black police had to come pull him up off of her. We witnessed a police officer kneel on this man's neck and kill him. You know what I'm saying? We seen Breonna Taylor. We seen Walter Scott get killed. We seen Eric Garner get choked out. We seen Tamir, you know what I'm saying? Many of us, what was her name? Sandra Bland. You know, so many of us they martyrs now. You know, the only thing we can say is say their name. Ooh, this motherfucker gonna make me go hurt them. The only thing we can just say is say their name. You know, that weighs, man. I'm talking about when I say, bro, when I go to sleep at night, it be so hard. That's why it's so hard for me to believe in God. I don't want to pray to the same God that the white man believe in. If the white man believe in that God, I don't want nothing to do with that God. The white man go, who is God favoring? Who is God favoring? The white man go to church every Sunday, just like every nigga go to church every Sunday. When the white man took us out our home, took us in the woods and hung us, they was praying to God on that. Anytime one of them old punk-ass white women made an allegation on us and said that we raped them, touched them, assaulted them, looked at them, people were getting lynched for just saying something was done wrong to them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on now. This is on our backs every day. So I feel like something like Juneteenth, that's an intimate thing with us that we should be able to have amongst ourselves. If they want to do their own Juneteenth, go read about it. Understand what we've been through. So maybe you could, your white counterparts, you be like, they deserve something. Police reform something. They deserve something. But instead, you vote for Donald Trump, thinking he going to make America great again. You know, when George Floyd got killed, you had the Black Lives Matter signs up, but y'all didn't really feel like that. So Juneteenth, I feel, in my opinion, should be something intimate among African Americans that we keep among ourselves, because there's so much tragedy that's behind Juneteenth that they'll never understand it. Like when I go to those African American museums, when I be going to the southern states, I hate to see them up in there. I do. It bothers me to see them. It'd be more white folks in there than us. But one curator had to pull me to the side and say they need to know. A lot of them don't know. Because I talked to the people, I said it just bubbles my soul to see them up in there. Y'all know, but then some of them don't know. You know, like when I used to work out there at Grafton, I asked the white folks, have y'all heard of Emmett Till? They ain't never heard of Emmett Till. They rarely heard of anybody. The only people they heard of is Malcolm X. You know, they don't know about Medgar Evers, Fannie Lou Hamer, just countless list goes on and on of black people, you know what I'm saying, that lost their lives at the hands of white people, just all type of stuff. So maybe, but I just feel like Juneteenth is just something that we should, because I'm not celebrating 250 of America. I never celebrate July 4th. It's a day off, okay, cool, but I'm not barbecuing and shooting fireworks and all that shit. I'd rather sleep today, pop me some muscle relaxers and sleep and wake up the next motherfucking day. You know what I'm saying? And that's my rant. So
that was entirely
I'm gonna mute
rant.
y'all and go.
That was entirely a rant. Let me go to the chat room. Erica Hunt says, I remember a couple years back, this white man came to claim a Lime scooter from a mom and her kids. He was going to get his ass beat. I guess this is at Juneteenth Day. Earl Henning said, white pies and black pies. White pies or black pies. Erica Hunt says, you should get a booth, Kevin, and broadcast from the Juneteenth Day celebration. And Shabaka said you had 188 views. Is that on your page, Shabaka? I don't know. It's early I usually don't look at the views until the show's been up for a day or two. Eric Hunt said say their name. And Earl Henning said to kill a nigga. Let's go. Erica said, oh, black people God is not the same as white people got there, and I feel you about that weighs on you, how that weighs on you. Orlando Owens, what up, man? What up, Orlando? He's in the chat room. He said, family, what it do, Orlando? Kerry Walker said, why is there so much outrage with the white man killing us so many years ago when we're killing each other now? I'm just playing devil's advocate. Sonia Thrower agreed with her. She said, yes. Hold on. Let me get these chats up, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. It's been rocking tonight. Erica Hunt said, I was watching a movie about a black woman and her daughter who was passed for white, and every time they would lie and say that she was white, and when she got caught up in her lie, the white people would outcast her and a couple white men who said she was dating, beat her up really badly. It was so hard for me to watch. I had to turn it off. Are you talking about Imitation of Life? Imitation of Life is one of the saddest movies. Huh?
Queen? I don't know.
No, this is what Imitation of Life was made a very long time ago. It's one of the saddest movies you ever see in your life, though, because it is about a young lady who is able to pass for white in the 50s. And her mother was a black woman who was a domesticate. She was like a housekeeper. But this young lady did everything that she could to play into people thinking she was white, and she became a celebrity. And the whole time, her mother was so proud of her and so happy for her, but she would never allow herself to be seen with her mom. She wouldn't acknowledge her mom. And she didn't even like, her mom was still like a maid, and she was rich and famous to the point where she married a white dude, and she would just diss her mom. Like, and her mother was still, she never was mad at her or nothing. She still loved her. And it was just sad to the point where it took for her mom, when the white man found out, somehow she was discovered. The white man she was married to found out she was black, and he exposed her. So
I heard that.
She was ostracized from Hollywood, so she wasn't famous anymore because nobody would hire her. And right at that point, she started to realize the mistake she made, but her mom died. And so it was a sad ass movie, man. Imitation of Life. It was a sad ass movie. I seen that shit. I said, man, I shouldn't have watched this.
Who on there says them European ass talking points when they be like the black man kill each other and we get mad? I hate when people say that stupid ass shit, because you know what?
Hold on, Dion. Let me finish the chat room. Let me finish the chat room, Dion. Erica Hunt said, yes, Kevin. Yes, Kevin, that's the movie. I thought it was Imitation of Life. Imitation of Life was just the way her mom, when her mom passed, it was sad, man. I watched that shit one time. I said, you know what? I shouldn't even watch this shit. This shit right here hurt my. I'm not an emotional dude, but I felt. I was like, oh no.
I felt that shit.
I felt that shit.
That shit was awful.
Because her mother was such an advocate of hers for her whole life, right? And so she was just proud of her. She just wanted to celebrate her, but she spent all of her time just kind of like hiding. When she would see her mama, she wouldn't let nobody photograph her. She wouldn't go nowhere in the public with her. And she was a maid, but she was humble, and she was just like, no, I'm just happy you made it. But it goes to show you that it's a price to pay when you are celebrated for being something or someone that you are not. Now, as far as what I think that was Carrie Walker who said that, she said she was playing devil's advocate. So you call it a European talking point, Dion, but is there some fact to it? Like, because a lot of the greatest hate that you're going to encounter nowadays is going to come from within your own community, right? And so, but my response to that is always this, because especially when you start to talk about God, like, in, there's an assumption that God favors white people because they were allowed to get away with this wickedness. I don't believe that to be true. I believe the fact that we were able to persevere and that we're still here shows that we're God's people just like anybody else. We went through something. We went through some traumatic episodes. Yes, white people have been very wicked to us in this country. Very, very heinous treatment in this country. Absolutely true. Wouldn't deny any of that. That's why I would never doubt or think that they are not conspiring against us on some level. But I don't spend my time thinking about white people and how evil they were to us. My mind is always focused on what I need to do as an individual to make my position better, right? And I've had my fair share of conflict with white people. Come on now. Like I said, I've had some straight up fisticuffs with white people. Like I don't know how many white dudes. I've fought as many white dudes as black dudes. So, but I don't waste my time worrying about them as much as some people do. And I acknowledge them for what they are. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of them who don't like us, but there's a lot of us who don't like them. But I think anytime we respond to them the way they've treated us, it makes us just as bad as them. So if we were to just go out right now and start busting white people upside the head just because they was white and telling them you can't do this, you can't do that, it makes us just as monstrous as they have been in the past, right? So I think we need to be focused on our own salvation. And I think more importantly, black people need to be working on how to love themselves better, not wasting time hating other people.
True.
So when we say post-traumatic slave syndrome, if you want to carry that burden, go ahead and do it, because can't nobody tell you you're wrong about your facts, right? But I want to be more focused on making sure that I'm the person that I'm supposed to be. I want to make sure that when I talk about God, I'm talking about the real God, not the slave Bible God or some made up facsimile of God that somebody who's trying to manipulate me put up on me and told me was gospel, right? We know better now. They say if you knew better, you do better. There's simply just a lot of shit we know better than right now. And that's how we should be focused. Yeah, they were evil. Yeah, they were just callous and cruel to us. But do that mean we should be that way against other people? I don't believe we should. And I don't believe black people are, because black people are some of the most emotionally invested people you'll ever meet. We love everybody, man. Except for
To me,
ourselves.
that's a sign of weakness.
Well, that's to you. To you. I mean, and you got the right to feel the way you want to feel. But I'm telling you, most black people are some of the most lovingest people you'll ever be around. And they care more about things that they should. We care too much about shit we shouldn't give a damn about. Right? Like being friends with everybody else. Like, let's be honest. There's a lot of black people in this country who absolutely love white people, and they aspire to be like them every day. Knowing the history of our people in this country, they still want.
They should be assassinated.
They still want to be down with white people. They still want. There's people would tell you right now, man, I don't shop in the hood. I go out and shop with the white folks. Why? Because their stores is better. They send their kids to their schools. Why? Their schools are better. They live in their neighborhoods. We want to live in their neighborhood. Why? Their neighborhoods are better. And we spend more time trying to get with them than trying to fix our own issues. So, I mean, you got the right to feel how you feel. If you hate white people, you hate white people. That's something I can't change. You sound like you got yourself pretty convinced of it. I just think we need to be focused on being the best individuals that we could be. And it takes time and effort to do that. And every time I waste my time focusing on something else, I lose momentum. Right? I'm more empowered and more motivated to talk to my people on a certain level than I am to go out and hurt a white person. I'd rather enlighten people in my own community and try and talk to my own people and talk about how we should be loving ourselves and appreciating ourselves than I am to say, well, let's go burn down some white people houses, because that don't really get nothing done for me.
Distraction. It's a distraction. It's funny that you're talking about distractions, because apparently Elon Musk got into it with a federal judge because he wants AI. Let me get this right. He apparently wants AI to be able to discriminate. He feels that if AI has to be fair and equitable, that I guess it takes away from his First Amendment rights, even though he's not a citizen. Yeah, that was wild when I heard that this morning. I'm like, what?
South African. Yeah. What do we expect from a South African?
What do you expect? And it's funny because that's what the dude, the talking head, that's exactly what he said.
Right.
He's like, bro, do you know how racist South African white people actually are? I was like, oh yeah, that whole apartheid thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that little thing.
Yeah,
that little thing, right?
That little apartheid thing, you know.
Erica said, she said, we done made Dion mad. She said, amen, Kev, we made it through and we're going to make it through again. It's God's will. Earl Henny said, I have a sister who educated herself white at the University of Wisconsin. I went to PWIs. They call them PWIs. Now I used to call them HWCUs, historically white colleges or universities. Now they call them PWIs. I went to school with white people, and I didn't go to a white school because I felt like that was the best education that I could get. I went to where I had an opportunity at. The fact of the matter is that HBCU didn't present me with any opportunity. So, and I feel like I got a quality education. And I was surrounded by white people forever. That was our reality. Like me and my boy GT was talking about this the other night. And we talked about how long we lived amongst them and just kind of got used to the way they treated us. They didn't treat us well. Mm-hmm. They weren't open arms, welcoming to us. And that's why the DEI shit is funny to me. Like I had to earn everything I got from them. They wasn't giving me shit because I was black. They didn't even bring me there because I was black. They brought me there to entertain them because I could play football. So, you know, so DEI don't mean shit to me. And it doesn't have anything to do with the price of tea in China when it comes to whatever opportunities that I'm presented with. I feel like any opportunity I get comes from God anyways. That's why I never get down on my knees and say, thank the white man. Oh, white man, thank you so much for this opportunity. I thank God. But,
thank you, John.
Right. Bill, right? Like, I mean, you know,
thanks, William.
Sonia Thor said, and they still are. She said, me too. I think she's talking about white people. Erica Hunt said, black people also have to practice not fall victim to temptation or the devil. Well, there's a moral investment that needs to be kind of invested in within our community because we really like a lot of wild shit. That's what I was talking about earlier in the show when I said a lot of us are cheerleaders for foolishness. I'm looking at shit like Ray J. Now, if anything is a distraction, individuals like Ray J, like what is wrong with this dude? Like,
Your ass is crazy, Casey.
He's got knocked out anytime I got 5 more fights left in me. Right? Like,
I knew you was going to eventually play this shit.
Like, this dude is individuals like when you see a crash out in the media and you say, I see somebody like Charleston White. That's a distraction. That's a plant.
You're a fucking weirdo, dog. You weird.
Some like the Kevin Hart roast where you got Kevin Hart sitting there defending racist jokes because he's an entertainer and he know if he speak bad on him, his movie career is gonna suffer, right? But then you find out
acting like something wrong with you for pointing out lynching jokes are not funny.
Right. Like, well, neither is George Floyd. Now I'll tell you how coincidental it is that Kevin Hart comes out and they're doing George Floyd jokes, and then, like my man said, the GOP in Minnesota does a moment of silence for Derek Chauvin. Like,
what the fuck?
This has always been a thing for them in this country. And I think if we get over complaining about how they treat us and actually start doing something about it, like bettering ourselves, empowering our communities, that would piss them off. And then
it would actually.
And I know some black person gonna say, well, we did that. And remember Black Wall Street. I know some black person gonna say that. I think the difference between Black Wall Street and what we would have now is guns. Because, and I don't know why, and I've heard very, very different statements, but I feel like if we established a black settlement right now and we was making money and we were successful, I know if I was a citizen there, the first thing I say is, hey man, we need to try to get something to defend this shit. Because y'all know they coming for us. Right? Well, they brought airplanes. I feel like that should be your first line of defense. Like, we should come up with some way to protect ourselves, y'all. Like, you know, you gotta be able to bust back. Like, it's to me, and I don't know why they wasn't of that mentality, but that just goes to show you how good and how strong our moral fabric is. It's like, we don't want to hurt nobody, we just want to do our own thing. But it
was fear, man.
I really believe this too, man. I think if you first start, it's gonna sound weird, but I think if you just first start with just a corner store, if you just get one corner store, you get enough cash with enough money to get a corner store started, that's something that can help keep money in the community. If it's a decent person. And then after that, man, people start buying those homes on their blocks. And it could just be one block at a time. And I think that would really change the dynamic of things to start. Yeah, KB, I think that's feasible.
Well, above and beyond the corner store, my only disagreement with that is I think we need to diversify our portfolios because we go into business, but we limited in what we do. Got a million goddamn daycares and hair salons. How many machine shops do we own? How many architecture firms do we start? How many brokerages do we start? What's our presence on Wall Street?
Oh, yeah.
Where the money is actually made.
I'm just saying first to make money, like to start to save money to get to that point. Because, it's just hard to, I guess you can get a couple
to get the money to get to that point, we got to stop spending on frivolous shit. We so loyal to brands that don't give a damn about us. Line up around the corner.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's very true.
And spend the night in front of Foot Locker for some goddamn Jordans made in a sweatshop for $5 so you can pay $300 for them. That's our mark of success.
That's so true.
That's how we measure our success by what we wear.
Apparently they still do that.
I know they do.
Apparently, Nike is still doing that. I'm like, what?
Why would they
I'm
stop?
like, oh my god! I remember, like, I ain't wore Jordans in so long, man.
I ain't worn none in a minute, but I see something I want to get. So I just been fighting the urge.
Which ones you want to get, Kev? Because I slipped up. I ain't gonna lie, I slipped up. And got 2 pair. I ain't gonna lie.
I used to wear them. I used to wear them a lot, especially when I was in college. I had so many pair, but I think there are 12s, some blue and black and gray ones that I used to really love that I used to wear. Them shits was fly. And I've been wanting to go get me another pair of them for years. And plus, I love the Jordan 3s. To me, that's one of the greatest sneakers ever made. So, you know, I'm just.
How much are they running nowadays?
200 plus. You know, unless you got.
No, you can catch some on sale.
Yeah, the Mexican Jordans.
No, I just got some 3s. I just saw some 3s for $130. I can see you right now. They got some 9s on sale for $136. They white and gray.
Ben Gordon. Give me some Gordon instead of Jordan.
Yeah, my son always say them the Mexican Jordans. I don't know how he can tell because I don't know.
MJ.
He knows what the Mexican Jordans look like, right? So a Reba type shit. Erica Hunt said,
I done seen some real good fakes.
She said, I'm finna go spend a bag on my nail design for Juneteenth Day. It's my favorite holiday. Get your celebration on. Sonia Thor said, you want some attention? Ray J wants some attention. Yeah, he going about it the wrong damn way because he's just a crash out king. Earl Henning we gonna start calling these Earlisms. Kevin, who said pussy costs more than dick? I don't know. I don't know, Earl. I don't know who said that.
You know what? You know how, Kevin, you know how when you talk about you don't really like the Breakfast Club?
Right.
That's not your thing at all? Okay. You know what? You should hate Ray J because Ray J is the reason the Breakfast Club was saved. Do you know how?
I do not know how.
I know you gonna tell us.
Yep, he's so crazy. Yeah, he got into a beef with fucking Fabulous. And it was at this Mayweather event, and he called the Breakfast Club snapping. Their ratings were in the toilet. That's when he was on there like, I'll slap, dude, look at his eye. He just was going off, dude. If you listen to it, it's the wildest shit I ever heard. And it was on live radio. He was cursing. They didn't do no drops, nothing. They didn't realize he was going to go there. But apparently the ratings were so high, and that's when they went to that controversial bullshit. It's funny you said that, and you talking about Ray J, and he crashed out that day. He definitely is a crash out king because
I just seen him get knocked out.
Accredited.
I just seen him get knocked out.
I don't know, man. I mean, was that a real fight?
That was a real knot on his forehead. I don't know if it was a real fight, but that was damn sure a real knot.
Yeah, that's
on
what
his
I'm
forehead.
saying. So I was like, hold on, dude, because apparently, because I
dude put it on his ass.
Do you really believe though that Ray J was in a real fight? Because I mean, that jab he was throwing. I've never seen anything.
Are you asking me? Do I believe? Wait, Ian. Are you asking me? Do I believe that he was a real fighter, or was that a real fight? I don't believe he's a real fighter. Obviously.
No. Obviously, not a real fighter.
But I can tell you this too. I can tell you this.
I think it was staged.
Here's something that a lot of people don't realize about us as black men, and in our community. Yeah. Most people who talk the most shit and act the toughest can't fight at all.
They can't.
And I know a lot of y'all like to talk about your hood and your guys that you with. And I'm guaranteeing you, if you hang out with 12 dudes, unless you're the exception to the rule, 9 of them dudes can't fight.
Like
they cannot fight.
No, they can't.
Fighting is an art.
They don't even.
Fighting is an art.
No, they don't even stand properly, bro. They don't even stand properly.
Well, a lot of people, a lot of dudes just ain't got the heart to just punch somebody in their face. Like it's not in them. It's violent. Like everybody ain't violent. It ain't something like a switch. Like unless you are a psychopath where you can just hit a switch and become super violent. It's either in you or it's not. Like, so you see a lot of dudes who can talk a lot of shit, but when it comes to a fight, they get their ass knocked because they can't throw them. I grew up with so many dudes who talked such a tough game. And then one day my brother and I were having a conversation, and we started to talk about how out of all the dudes we knew who claimed to be tough and claimed to be hard, I have never actually seen them in a physical fight. They've never had a fight. They talked about us a lot of, man, I was about to, man, I woulda, but it never happened. So A lot of dudes
Yeah.
who I grew up with respect with, who these street dudes. That's why they go in prison and become gay. Because a lot of these dudes just they're not tough guys. They just act like it. So
No.
you know,
And they tough guys with guns too.
absolutely.
That's another one.
So yeah,
That's
so Ray
it,
J is just
but-
another example of that, of somebody who probably grew up around some real thug type dudes, been around them.
Yeah, he was around some real blood.
He can imitate them, but when you get in the ring with somebody, you get your ass dotted. I don't even know who this dude was in Super Hot Fire. Who the hell is he?
I know his name is hilarious, but the thing is, though, I think that Ray J. I think it reminds me of Dylon.
Right,
from,
so that's what I thought.
so
Was he fighting Dylon? This is Super Hot Fire.
2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I'm Super Hot Fire. That's what he used to say. But the thing is funny about that is I really believe, just knowing what I know about just combat sports, even at that level, the entertainment level, I think Ray J thought it was going to be staged and the other dude didn't. He didn't go for it.
Yeah, he said, I
really
thought we
believe
had an
that.
understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, I really believe that. Like, people like, no, Ray J just saying that. I'm like, actually, nah. From what I know about promotion and all that shit, nah. He thought it was, but the other dude didn't. The dude probably never agreed to that. That's how come you look in the first round, because I've seen that before. Like in real fights, you'll see somebody who tries to manage your punch output, which makes sense. Like if you've never done like a 12-round fight, or well, usually it's 8 to 10 rounds.
We just seen it with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Thank you, bro. You making my point exactly. That's why I was like, he ain't throwing no punches. I'm like, he's trying to set him up, and that's exactly what he did. And I saw that shit coming because I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, when is this Ray J knockout supposed to happen? And then the second round, I saw dude, his footwork looked a little bit better. Even the hot like fire guy wasn't that good of a fighter. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, he's going to set him up. He's going to probably hit him with a check hook or something. And that's what he did. So it's just kind of funny, man, how this shit really is, man. Like you said, these guys just be talking all of this bullshit. They talk, and it's kind of like, come on, bro. You're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, you get into a fight, somebody gonna sue you, bro. You going to jail for assault. So I mean, it's really. I mean, I understand. Sometimes you get mad and shit, and we didn't all did it. I've been victim of it and shit, but you're not gonna really go out there unless you're defending yourself, and that's fine. But what you should do is fight in the gym, or in Ray J's case, in a controlled environment. That's where we should be fighting at. But even when he was in that controlled environment, it did not look good. Whoever trained him, though, oh my Lord. Did you see what's his name was like? Oh yeah, Rampage Jackson. He was like, Ray J throw a jab. He was like, don't. He literally was dead serious. People thought he was joking. Rampage said, don't let him go out there. He gonna get his ass whooped. Chris Brown said you're gonna get your ass whooped. They all kept saying it.
A lot of people would say his daddy should have pulled out and his mama should have swallowed. Like, I don't know. I just feel like this is like
got locked the fuck up.
That's
horrible. Somebody said his mom should have swallowed. That's what I said about Trump.
Well, his daddy should have pulled out or his mama should have swallowed. Erica Hunt said, you know what really pisses them off? Taking the tools that they designed to benefit the white community and utilizing them to benefit the black community. Unions. She said unions. You know, y'all know Erica gonna big up the union. She said he absolutely, this is Kerry Walker Jones. She said he absolutely has a point of hating white people. We absolutely have a reason to, but we made it through their BS.
Yeah.
Not without their help, not without sharing space with them and knowing them. Sometimes we have to keep our enemies closer than we think. While you're right, Dion, not forgetting what they are capable of. And this is Erica Hunt. She said, Ian C. Jordan, I'm sorry. Ian, that'll take way too long. We need some get back now. Sonya Thor said, baby, I'm a cheap person. I'll go to the secondhand store and find me something nice. I don't buy that name stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That if it look nice at Walmart, I'm going to get it. I may have to go to the high price store to buy stuff. And this is Erica Hunt. And she says, I mean, when it comes to Jordans, it's not like y'all are taking y'all last dollar to buy Jordans or you're buying a bunch of Jordans just to go hide in a closet. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna keep my piece to myself about that. I'm a big dude. I can't really wear cheap clothes. I'm a big dude. You can't. The worst thing to do is you a big dude is be wearing some cheap shit. Cause it ain't gonna last and more.
What you in the waist, care about a 44, 42?
And it ain't gonna look right. It ain't gonna look right. So I have to spend a little extra when I buy me some clothes. I'm not gonna be, I'm not the biggest advocate of the white man either, but I'm not gonna be wearing no little tight ass pants because of it. Like
you look crazy like Theo on the Cosby Show when he had that shirt that he thought was a designer shirt.
The Gordon Gartrell, right?
Yeah.
She said I buy my tennis shoes off Team and Sheen. See, men, we can't really you can't really come out the house. That's Sonya Thrower. Brothers can't really be coming out the house with no cheap ass shoes on. Like and women don't like to see no brother who wears cheap ass shoes all the time or dirty ass shoes.
Hell no, and I wouldn't even date no woman that buying no shit off of Temu. No shoes anyway. Now you might get away with the clothes. But I
think they can get away with the clothes, especially if they just wearing stuff like camouflage pants and stuff like that. You can get away with it. I've seen some bad like that.
Earl said you can tell because of the feet on the logo. He's talking about Mexican Jordans. You can tell because the feet on the logo are real big on the back of the shoe. Is that how you tell that they got big feet on the logo?
Hey,
there is no such thing as Mexican Jordan.
Fake Jordan. They got whole freaking clubs on like pages. Fake imitation Jordans. Facebook, they have a page to where, if you pay us $40, we can send you these, and they look just like Jordans, and they'll have them side by side. Erica I ain't gonna lie, I can't tell the difference.
She said, "Yes, that was a stage fight." I say I almost said it was when he got paid, put on his ass. Sonya said the clothes and the shoes, everything looked nice. Erica Hunt says you got to be careful with Temu and Shein because it has chemicals that our bodies are absorbing. Look, I'll tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of times women can dress way cheaper than men, especially if she's smaller.
They can.
And so you won't never know if she got them because men are, look, we so visual. If it fit a certain way, you don't give a damn where it came from. You don't care if it's Gucci or Hoochie. So a lot of times you don't even know if a woman got on Shein or Temu. Right? Like,
if I get to know you and find out you wearing that bum shit, I ain't gonna want to fuck with you though.
Man, listen, I've been married almost 25 years. I've been married almost 25 years. I have no clue where my wife get half her clothes from. It could be Temu, it could be Shein, it could be wherever. I have no clue. Right?
It could be the Goodwill. It could be anywhere.
Could be, and it might be. I mean,
it could be anywhere.
If it fit her a certain way, a certain way, I'm cool with it. Like, so I'm not that vested in women's clothing to be like, you got that from Temu. How would I know? I don't know, and I don't know that I care. Anyways, like I said, if it look good on you, baby, wear that shit. Like and if you didn't spend a lot of money on
I'll be on my girl ass. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know. I know. Only thing I know is that she like purses. So she ain't gonna wear no cheap purse. But that's fine.
I was gonna say, I bet you her purse is like my sister's purses, Louis Vuitton or whatever else, the good kind. Yep.
Well, not even this. It just might be some Michael Kors or some Coach stuff, but it ain't no. I want Gucci and all that.
Union Bird.
But I also too, I'm not a person that's a label whore, and I've never really been materialistic, and neither is my wife. So she's not a woman who's hung up on name brands and shit, like labels and shit. She's more important. She look at it more like, how do this look on me? I want this to look nice. I don't care about the label of it. So, but I tell y'all what, man. First of all, shout out to everybody who's tuned in tonight. I always appreciate when you all jump in with us on Outlaw Radio. Shout out to the brothers on the panel. And somebody was joking with me and they said, you always got the same motherfuckers on the panel. I said, or on the phone. I said, I can't help it that
everybody get invited.
Right, but anybody can call in, but it just so happens that the same brothers will typically call in. But at this point, everybody's like kind of like part of the show, so that's fine. I'm appreciative of any attention that we get, and I know that there's a lot of people who listen to the show, and I discovered this. There's a lot of people who listen to the show but never say a word. They never get in the chat room. They never call in.
That's very true.
They listen to the show, and I know because sometimes I meet up with them or I'm talking to them and they reference the show, or I see them with a topic that we talked about on the show. And I'm like, you got that shit off Outlaw Radio. Either way it go, I'm appreciative of it, man. I'm appreciative of it.
Are you talking about Tory Lowe and Sherwin Hughes' show?
I'm absolutely not. And Tory Lowe is no longer on The Truth. So
No, I'm glad his garbage ass.
well, I'm
Why
never
was
gonna.
he garbage?
I've never been a fan.
I don't like
I've
Trump
never
supporters.
been
I don't like
been
Trump
a supporter
supporters.
of it. So, and
He's Trump supporter.
I don't celebrate.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate. But he's not on there, and I've never actually listened to a Sherwin Hughes broadcast. So I don't. But I'm sure he's never listened to me either, that I know of. He might be one of the people in the background listening to be like, I don't want him to know I'm listening. But if there are people who are listening who don't jump in the chat room or don't call, shout out to you for supporting the show. I appreciate it. And I would ask that you share the show. You share the show or hit the Cash App, man. Show some love in that regard, because there's many different ways to show support. But I do want to say we will be back Wednesday. This should be a full week with both broadcasts intact. I don't feel no fatigue. Got to figure out what's up with Ian's sound. I'm hoping it was just a faulty link. But
I know, cuz we're gonna write the freaking StreamYard, man. We're gonna go ahead, man.
We'll get it figured out. Well, if they want me to pay because StreamYard like a pimp, man, they want their money. They take their shit straight out their account. Yeah, they want their money. So if they want me to pay, this shit better work. Every button, every feature of it better work. In the meantime and in between time, man, y'all, we just got to be strong as a people. That's all. And I hate to be the one to say this because I don't like to hear somebody say it, but I do truly believe it's gonna get greater later. We just have to stick to the. First of all, we gotta write a code, and then we gotta stick to the code and stay on code. And that's why I'm so big on the delineation movement, because it's one of the first times I can remember where we started to identify exactly who we were. Now let's just start to talk about the norms and how who we are and what we are should behave and navigate this situation that we call America. And that's real talk. So I will see y'all Wednesday, man. Y'all be safe, man. Love the people who you got in your life, because you never know how long you're going to have them. I say that every show.
Damn, they
real
took
talk.
that one my ovaries out.
That's right.
Oh, goddamn.
I will see y'all on Wednesday, man. Peace and love. Shout out to everybody on the show. Shout out to all the supporters, man. Y'all be cool. See y'all Wednesday.
All right. All right, Ian. All right.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir.